And I hit all the stuff. Let's see what happens. If I'm right, you'll be live here in a second. There you are.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Matt Men's UFC 283 Watchalong. I'm your host, for some reason, Matt Ryan, joined, as always, on the other side of the metaphorical glass by Stephanie Sotilli. Steph, how are you?
Hello. You want to get some slaps in later? You want to slap it up?
Slap-a-doo.
Is that the main event? Are they slapping?
No slapping tonight. We will be bringing you mixed martial arts action and only mixed martial arts action. In with this UFC 283 watch-along, we just watched Shogun Rua get dropped in the first round of his fight. He was going up against Ihor Potieria, and Potieria him up inside the Genius Arena. And I am so excited to be bringing you guys UFC 283 tonight. We've got a great card. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like what you see.
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
Donate to the cause and send some money via the super chat. You got the $ symbol right below there. So please give us a like, a comment, and a subscribe tonight for UFC 283. Steph, it's been a busy and hectic week here at the house as we see the jacket of Bruce Buffer looking like broccoli stalks and just very fresh cut grass.
I can't see it currently. It disappeared.
He's behind Herb Dean. He's behind the giant vestige of Herb Dean.
There it is. Does he only wear these once and then just like it puts them away? And then it leads me to my next question: can we buy them off him?
I feel like you won't be able to buy it off of him. But shout out to Steven Caroso. Well, here we go again. Glad to have you back in our living room. Glad to be back in your living room, Steven. And if you want to join us, if you want to let your friends know, share it on social media. Use the hashtag UFC283. Tag me on Twitter at Matt Ryan Yells. That's Matt Ryan Yells on Twitter. You can follow Steph on Twitter at Steph Sotilli. And also MG Geek. That is our producer this evening. You can follow him at 2Fight Forever. That is 2Fight Forever on the Twitter machine. And we've got a great card for you tonight. We start things off at the top of the hour when Paul Craig takes on Johnny Walker. And then after that, we'll have Jessica Andrade taking on Lauren Murphy. And then in the co-main event, Gilbert Burns will take on Neil Magny. And in our co-main event for the UFC Flyweight title, and what I think is the first time in UFC history, we have a quadrilogy fight. We don't have a trilogy fight. We have a quadrilogy fight. As Flyweight champion, Deiveson Figueiredo will return to the octagon to face the man he lost and then regained the Flyweight title from. That is Brandon Moreno. And Moreno will be holding the interim title. He won that when he defeated Kai Kara France last year. And in our main event, it's Glover Teixeira returning to Brazil to take on Jahmal Hill for the vacant light heavyweight title. And hey there, Toker88 joining the chat. Shout out to Toker. Hello, fight fans. Hello to you, my friend. So glad you are joining us here tonight. If you missed any of the action so far, Ihor Potieria just stopped Mauricio by TKO. Bruno Ferreira defeated Gregory Rodrigues by knockout. Thiago Moises defeated Costa by submission. Only 3 decisions so far in the night, and I think that bodes very well for us, Steph. I think that might be an early night for us, and I'm thinking Shogun Rua is retiring right now. He is putting his gloves inside the octagon. We do not have an audio feed because then we'd be taken off the air and then get a copyright strike, and then Andrew would fire me. But that's not going to happen, I think. The copyright strike thing won't happen. The me getting fired. You know, anything can happen in the World Wrestling Federation.
Nah.
Aw,
Is that
thanks.
what we are?
I think so.
Oh.
Is this not 1995? Am I not Todd Pettengill?
I mean, we're gonna get sued by a giant panda then if we're
Oh, fuck.
the WWF.
Not again. I can't have that happen again. Can't get sued by pandas.
I have a controversial opinion.
Oh?
Is that when I was younger, I was very happy they won that lawsuit. It's like, yeah, go animals. I was on their side.
That's a take.
But I was also a WCW fan, so I was like, nah, you know.
Well, you lived in WCW territory. You grew up in Florida. So that WCW...
Can you not? No, I'm kidding. Can you not make that like common knowledge?
Sorry. With your Sunshine State license plate tramp stamp, I thought everybody knew.
Look, it was the style at the time.
When, 1987? You were 1 and got a tattoo on
They
your
tattoo
circus?
babies in Florida. Look,
yeah.
the least surprising thing about Florida, if that was true.
But we will be bringing you to the top of the hour, and at the top of the hour, we will be bringing you our game. How many people will be making the walk to the octagon with the fighter, and what time will the first fight enter the octagon? And it looks like Shogun has taken his gloves off, and he, I believe, has left them in the octagon. That is the end of one of the best careers in the history of mixed martial arts, if he, in fact, has retired. Hey, everybody who is just joining us. I'm Matt Ryan and Stephanie Sotilli on the other side of the metaphorical glass. MG Geek is our producer. The professor is joining us tonight, and you will hear him scream random things in a language of the Mediterranean during various points of the night. And Olive the Fat Baby will also be here. Brendan Sokler not here because of a professional conflict, so he'll be joining us the next time we're with you in February for UFC 284.
He's getting slapped by a tall woman in a
Yes.
dress.
Well, we don't kink shame here on the show.
No, but I will. But that's the...
And they're showing pride footage, too. That's just a cock tease. Showing pride footage at any point in mixed martial arts history. And I know it's a Shogun Hua package. But come on, man. You can't show pride footage in 2023 and expect us not to wish for the halcyon days of when you can soccer kick a motherfucker in the head and freak fights were a thing. And I want your opinion, guys, in the chat below. What do you think constitutes a freak fight? Let me know in the chat. Let Steph know in the chat. She'll be running the chat all night long. But we want to know what you think is a freak fight. So put that down in the gimmick below. And also, if you want to give us money,
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
there's multiple ways to do that. The first one, the easiest one, is the super chat. You can drop that right down in the $sign, hit the gimmick, and then give us some money. And if you want to go the extra step, if you want to keep giving us money, you want to keep giving us your dimes, your nickels, your pennies, what have you, go to patreon.com/Dan A. White. That's patreon.com/Dan A. White if you're watching live or watching live back using the live chat function. Steph just dropped the link in there. It's patreon.com/Dan A. White. Great card tonight. I'm excited for this one. First time we're seeing a UFC show in Brazil in quite a while, over a year. I forget the last time. But we'll have someone in the chat much smarter than me let me know at some point when the last UFC card in Brazil was. But Paul Craig versus Johnny Walker opening the card is a real intriguing fight to me. Johnny Walker coming off a win over Ion Cutelaba, got a performance of the night bonus for that. That was back in September of last year. But before that, Jahmal Hill knocked him spark out in their fight in 2021, I believe, and helping set up Hill for this title fight here tonight for the vacant light heavyweight title. The last time we were with you, we were supposed to crown a light heavyweight champion, but that ended up not happening because God laughs at the best intentions. And, well, everything that happened over the course of that week or month for the UFC did not go the way they expected, especially certain executives in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. I also want to get your thoughts on Francis Ngannou separating, consciously uncoupling himself from the UFC. My opinion is they dropped Francis Ngannou leaving the UFC has a debilitating effect on the UFC. With the globalization of mixed martial arts and the globalization of the UFC, losing one of your biggest stars in one of the markets you're really growing. You have a lot of great talent coming from Africa, coming from Nigeria, coming from all across. I believe Ngannou's from Cameroon. You have so much talent from there, and also the roots in Europe and being able to build the sport there, in France, and especially building outside of the UK, which has been a long-standing UFC and MMA hotbed. The fact that you lose that guy over paying him what he's worth. And you can make the arguments about his demands were too much. He was trying to Norma Ray it. But this is a flashpoint in the history of the UFC. And to be completely honest, I think that the UFC showed their ass and completely ruin the opportunity to make the biggest fight in heavyweight MMA and hand Francis Ngannou over to maybe the PFL, maybe Bellator. I want to know where you guys think Francis Ngannou will end up. Let us know that throughout the night. Steph actually put that on the poll. Where will Francis Ngannou go? Will he go to Bellator? Will he go to boxing? Will he go to the PFL? Hell, will he go to BKFC? Imagine Francis Ngannou in bare knuckle fighting championship. That would be fucking hilarious.
Someone would die.
Yes, someone would die, Matt. You're right. You're right, MG. Someone would in fact die. If he was in Power Slap, I feel like that would be breaking several laws. I think a felony murder charge would be inbound. But I want to know what you guys think. We'll be putting that poll up, and we'll have polls all night long. Our second show here on Matt Men, and we're so glad you guys are trickling in and joining us as we count down to the top of the hour in UFC 283. It is fun to have a UFC card outside of the United States that's at our normal time slot. I do prefer, and I think, Steph, you agree, the earlier shows, much more better good.
Much more better good, yes. You know, this is crazy. I don't like sitting here until 1 a.m.
You don't?
It might be a crazy take.
It's a hot take.
It's a hot, spicy take for you, but I don't like being here till 1 a.m. Also, the spicier take. You know, there might be somebody here in production. Not saying it's me. Could have been someone else. Who might have missed what poll you wanted to go up because I was working on other technical things. I'm not saying it's me.
No?
It's totally not me.
But
just in case it's someone else in production might need you to repeat what you would like me to ask our lovely listeners.
Our legion of production staff. Actually, when we came over to Matt Men, there's actually 90 people working on this show. It's an insane amount of people. I don't know where Andrew gets the money, but I don't ask questions. But when it comes to the poll, Francis Ngannou, where will he go? Will he go to the PFL? Will he go to Bellator? Will he go to BKFC? Or will he go into boxing? That's one of the questions we're asking here tonight. And hi, I'm Matt Ryan. And let us know what you're drinking. Let us know what you're imbibing. Let us know how you're enjoying UFC 283. Steph, we had a conversation the other day about UFC pay-per-view names.
The name of the people or the name of the names?
Events. The name of the event.
The name of the event.
Because you were asking me, are they just going to keep counting?
Oh, yes. No, we figured out. Weren't we trying to figure out also, because I was saying, are they going to end naming these when they get to 1,000?
I don't think that's going to happen.
And if that happens, that's in about how many years?
I believe we figured out 66.
Yeah.
Because it's been 283 events over the course of 29 and a quarter years, because they started in November of 93. So when it comes to that, it would probably be another 66 years to get to that number. Because we're getting close to UFC 300, which is going to be next year.
You know, and the same goes for the copyright name of the big football game that we can't say. Yes. That too. Are they going to eventually stop naming it and just maybe name it for the year?
No,
the big game 2045 or whatever.
That's gonna keep happening. Shout out to Stanley Franklin joining the program. Hi, buddy. So glad you're joining us. Shout out to Olive the Fat Baby. Brian, isn't one of the MMA promotions going to start doing boxing? Well, the UFC was supposed to start doing boxing fucking 2018, 2017. Matt, look that up. Look up when Zuffa Boxing was supposed to start. Because I wanna run amok all of that. But we have this question up here. An interesting poll. I like these options. Well, where will Francis Ngannou go? Bellator, boxing, or will he open a cupcake business? Now, Steph, are you envisioning this to be an artisanal cupcake business?
I think he would use very rustic recipes. I see it more as like a get back to basics type of cupcake business.
Interesting.
I think a lot of people are getting tired of artisanal and overexpensive stuff because, you know, we're all slowly dying. We've reached our debt ceiling. Our country this is the start of our country dying. I'm calling it today. So we don't have time for artisanal cupcakes.
No. No, that's not. That's.
You like the first topic of my new political show?
Yes. What's the name of it? And it is the top of the hour. It is UFC 283 time, and it is time to play our favorite game. But shout out first and foremost to Brian, who was formerly named Eric, who dropped that comment in the chat. Did you change your name, or did you just change your YouTube name, or is there some level of subterfuge going on here? Brian, Eric, Bryek.
He's going by his middle name now.
Ah, that's smart. Checking in, Stephen Carasso regarding Francis. He won't make more money at Bellator or PFL or BKFC. They can't match UFC money elsewhere. He might be able to box but lose to Tyson. He may join UFC and fight Jones at long last. See, you say that, but it's not like PFL is owned by, you know, it's not like it's owned by the original owners of the Chicago Bears. It's not, you know, it's owned by a very strong VC firm that continues to pump money into the business. And when it comes to PFL, they just signed Jake Paul, and I don't think Jake Paul's a cheap purchase. I don't think Jake Paul's a cheap date for the PFL. And Bellator's owned by fucking CBS Viacom. You know, they can use like 8 residual checks from Ridiculousness that they air nonstop ad infinitum and pay for Francis Ngannou. Toker88 saying Cupcake Choice is getting the nonconformist vote.
I say they start bringing in Jake Paul's ex-wife.
Tana Mongoose?
Tana Mongoose.
I love her bicycles.
I say they start training Tana Manju. Manju? I can't pronounce it.
Tana Mojo Jojo, yes.
Mojo? I can't.
Tana Watch Mojo.
Mojo Jojo.
Here's the top 10 countdown of Tana Monjo getting her head kicked in. Shout out to Stephen Kelleher. Hola, mijos, ¿cómo está? What's going on with you? But we take a look at that. Brian, it was his middle name. It was his middle name, but it is time for the game we play every show. How many people will make the walkout, and what time will we see the first fight? Steph, you get the honors.
What's this? What is the? Who's the first person coming out?
It is either Paul Craig, whose nickname is the Bear Jew, or Johnny Walker.
The what?
The Bear Jew. He's a Scottish man who's Jewish.
Okay, that is what you said.
Yes.
I thought you were saying jus, like the thing in a steak sandwich.
No, he is not Bear Sauce. Bear Sauce would be a badass MMA
awesome
nickname,
name.
though.
So Bear Sauce is coming out. I'm calling him Bear Sauce because the other one, I know it's not offensive because he wants that name, but it somehow sounds offensive.
You're Jewish, though.
I'm not Jewish. My mother was. I like Bear Sauce. So Bear Sauce. I think Bear Sauce will come out by himself.
Bear Sauce will make the walk to the octagon. What time will we make it into the octagon?
10:03.
Yeah, it's 10:03 now, when we're still in the video package.
Let's go early. 10:13.
10:13. You and Brian have that. Toker88
Yeah.
has 10:15.
Me and Brick.
Stanley Franklin saying 10:14 and 3 peeps. Professor, what do you got?
He's a little confused about the game. This is good. It's like most of our audience.
Sorry.
He like represents most of our audience. He's like, I'm confused about what's going on or why he's here.
Wait, what are the choices so
far? I'm trying to
literally
work on
any time between
now
now and forever when they'll come out.
But
10:17. 4 people.
All right, MG. What about you? What do you got?
Oh, what time they're all coming out? What time
and
they're
how
out?
many people are coming out? Yeah.
Like all together, like both entourages.
What time is the first walkout, and how many people will be making that walkout? And did they put a UFC belt on the Jesus statue in Rio?
I hope they get in trouble for that.
I've heard of some interesting marketing moves before, but that one.
I'm not very religious, but just because I think that'd be funny. They just get in trouble with the whole country.
All right, so you're saying 1021, Matt. You're picking 1021. Yeah. How many people?
And I'm going to say 8 people.
8 people. So you're just doing the Price is Right fucking closest to the hole without going over.
Pretty much.
Stanley Franklin said 10:14. Stephen Kelleher said Johnny's going to come out first, so we see him on his feet longer. Young Ed says 10:18. Closer to your prediction, MG. I'm going 10:17. and I'm going to say 3 people. Steven Caruso asking, who are the people behind me in the photos? Well, directly above my left shoulder is Lewis Black. Directly above my right shoulder is the late, great... Being a fat baby. The late...
I'm trying to get Olive's answer, but she's refusing.
And next to her is Eddie Izzard. Trigger D in the audience tonight. Shout out Trigger D. So glad you guys are here joining us.
Say Trigglebert, is that his Christian name?
Yes, Trigglebert Melendez. That's a good one. That's a good one. But 10-17 and 3 people. Yeah, Brendan not joining us this show. He'll be back in February. It is a hectic day for me and Brendan. A hectic week and weekend for Brendan and I. As tomorrow, we will be at the Bell House. Bell time is 4 p.m. If you want to come hang out, have a drink with us, our bar will open at 2:30 p.m. Andrew Zarian will be hosting our pre-show, which means Andrew just will be drinking wine and interviewing people starting at 2:30. And you can get tickets now at tinyurl.com/rockthebellhouse. That's tinyurl.com/rockthebellhouse. If you're just joining us,
I believe you're getting one of our producers as well showing up for you. So
yeah,
we got the whole clan showing up.
Yeah, Wu-Tang, Tribe Called, everybody's showing up. Shout out to Toker88. He said 10-15 and 4 people. 3 to 4. It's just one person.
He said 4 peeps. That's a marshmallow.
How dare you?
What up?
Yeah, there we go. Just give you the crickets. You can't hear them, Steph. But
I can't hear them, so your meanness doesn't affect me.
Fair. The poll right now, boxing 50%, Bellator 29%, open a cupcake business 21%. You know, Matt, we should ask him on the Matt Men Twitter. You should tweet Francis Ngannou and ask him whether his next options are Bellator, boxing, or opening a cupcake business.
And he should open a cupcake business.
That's fair.
God.
But taking a look at the card, our co-main event tonight is the fight I'm looking forward to the most, as it will be Deiveson Figueiredo taking on Brandon Moreno for the flyweight title to unify the belts. For the 4th time, these guys will fight, and if it goes to a draw, I'm not going to be mad about it because I kind of want them to fight forever. I feel like we deserve it because outside of that in the flyweight division, who else deserves the shot? Who else deserves the title? Trigger D asking saying my parlay's been torn to shreds. I had T-Rex and Abdurrahmanov. Oof, sorry, bro. Sorry. It's been a rough day for some people out there. Kelleher saying Walker's gonna stop some knuckles. Yeah, he's gonna eat some punches. If you're a patron over at patreon.com/DanAWhite, any level you get my fight preview where I give you a couple of gambling picks and I gave you a quick parlay on our opening contest and our second fight of the night. So head on over there, patreon.com/DanAWhite, and join, become a patron. It's like $5. Do the thing. Brandon Moreno is young Ed's favorite fighter. Here's a question. Who was your first favorite fighter? Like, who was the first fighter that really had you falling in love with mixed martial arts? Like, I loved MMA. I watched MMA from the beginning. I fell out a little bit. Obviously, when I was a kid, it was Chuck Liddell. But the underdog parlay for tonight, +120 for Glover Teixeira, +110 for Figueiredo, +390 for Neil Magny. $100 would win $21.64. That's a solid parlay. I don't know if that parlay is going to hit or not, but it might work.
Well, who was your first favorite fighter?
That's the thing. I'm trying to work through it in my head. Ken Shamrock's kind of the pat answer because he was in the WWF.
Do you remember, like, from a while ago, like when UFC first started, when they had the funny little logo of the bald guy?
Yes.
Like in the very beginning. Do you remember anyone named Pete Becker?
Fuck you. Fuck you. Dislike you.
He was my favorite.
Checking in on the chat. Trigger D picking Brandon Moreno. I get the joke, buddy. Tito Ortiz coming in from Brian. So sad that what happened to him. Nothing happened. He's just Tito. Stephen Kelleher saying the Diaz brothers. Vertical 50 saying Hoist Gracie, then GSP. Olaf and Hoist. First favorite fighter was Big Nog, according to Trigger D. It's a good answer. These are a lot of good answers. Chuck Liddell was up there for me. Forrest Griffin. Like, if you grew up watching the first Ultimate Fighter, you were rooting, I think, for Forrest Griffin and the late, great Stephen Bonner. Steven Chapman got into UFC in 2020. Wow. Well, welcome to the club, pal. Izzy and Dustin were my first favorites. Those are good first favorites to have. Like, those aren't bad. Toker 88, Oleg Taktarov. You gave yourself a bell on that one because that is a great fucking pull. Oleg Taktarov. I feel like the Mike Tyson outside. Yeah, Ed, come on. Unless it's against Mitch Blood Green. Aside from that, your answer stinks. But we're so glad you guys are joining us. We are counting down to the first fight of the night. 10-17 is my pick. MG said 10-21. PJ Simpson.
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
Donating $20 to the cause, and he's also a patron over at patreon.com/Dan A. White. So be cool like PJ.
Straight cash, homie.
And donate to the cause, whether it's through the super chat or through patreon.com/Dan A. White. Sakuraba, great answer. The Gracie Killer. What sucks is about the early 2000s, trying to find MMA and becoming an MMA fan and trying to consistently stay up with it because UFC was one step ahead of the law due to all the issues with people thinking it was human cockfighting. And Pride was so huge in Japan, I wasn't as adept at the internet as I would later become in finding torrents and finding, different fights and finding different things in pro wrestling. So I missed out on a lot of Pride, and I hate that fact. Trigger D was named after Sugar Ray Leonard. That's pretty cool. Brian, a fan of Mark Coleman. That's a great answer. Like, these old school dudes, these old school fighters, so badass human beings, and it's great to honor them with the UFC Hall of Fame, but having conversations like this and being able to kind of relive those memories is an awesome thing that we were able to do and kind of build an institutional memory. Mark Kerr, the Smashing Machine. Shit, that's even a better answer. Waiting on that movie to come out about him. I think The Rock is supposed to play him. I don't know what's going on with that movie. It feels like it's stuck in development, but hopefully we'll figure out more about that as it goes. The Rock's at least producing that movie, if I remember correctly. But we're waiting on our first fight of the night, Paul Craig versus Johnny Walker. And if you have some Johnny Walker in your cup, let us know. Let us know what you're drinking tonight, what you're imbibing, how you're enjoying UFC 283, whether you're at home or you are on the road, and be smart. Imbibe wisely.
You notice that I've already lost. It is past 10:13.
Yes, it is 10:14, and they are still in the video package. And here it is, 10:14. Which means, by the transitive property, I'm a winner.
What was yours?
10:17.
What was yours? Oh, so you both win.
Yeah.
Wait, is he walking out with anyone? Do they count?
He's got one. The security doesn't count. The people in the tracksuits count. There's 3.
But I said bear sauce, not this guy.
Yeah, but doesn't matter.
I said bear sauce would walk out alone.
Yeah, then you lost. You're wrong.
Well, I still think bear sauce will walk out alone. I'm going to hold on to that. What?
Like Batista, vertical filthy 50. Tweet that at me if that's a YouTube video. Tweet that at me at Matt Ryan Yells. That's at Matt Ryan Yells on Twitter. If you just want to give me a follow or if you want to send me cool shit. Deacon saying I want Paul Gregg to win. Thank you, Deacon. Thank you. You're an interesting human, intern Deacon. Stephen Kelleher met. Oh, nice. You met Sugar Ray in Baltimore. That's pretty fucking cool, man. I'd love to meet Sugar Ray. I met Bernard Hopkins once. He was cool. Interviewed Anthony Joshua, which was interesting. 1 of 10 spinning back fists and knockouts in UFC history against Jay Leader in 2019. Finished 18 of his 19 wins, 15 by way of knockout. Awarded a UFC contract on Dana White Contender Series Brazil Week 2. Deacon with the compelling analysis. Johnny Walker, tall, lanky, alcohol man, uses long-range attacks. Was that in verse? I feel like that was in verse or maybe iambic. Could be a haiku. We'll figure that out. We got the 91 staffers taking a look. Steven Chapman, I'm certain this won't happen, but his picks are Walker, Andrade, Burns, Moreno, and Hill. Risky gambits on a couple of those, but some solid takes and some solid conversations going on here. Really excited to bring this to you guys tonight. We're back. We're a little family, and we're doing all these things. The cupcake business getting trounced right now in the poll.
Oh, also, Deacon, that was actually a haiku.
That was a haiku. Fuck. He's a savant.
I had to count it out. It's not iambic. It's a haiku.
Trigger D, if Johnny Walker wins, I'll take a double shot of whiskey. Good on you. And here comes Paul Craig. And he is walking out alone.
Bear sauce!
Oh, no, he's got people with him. He's got like 3 people behind him.
Bear sauce.
Stanley Franklin, you win the fan vote. You win the fan one. I win the show one. You winning the fan one means you're a sweetie baby. And also, all of our sweeties, we're so glad you're joining us. Be a sweetie. Donate to the super chat.
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
Trigger D has the same picks as Steven, but he takes Glovebert in his fight. And that is our main event tonight for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. Paul Craig's entire crew look like they belong on a BritBox show, if not telling Stephen Toast to do that line again. At Matt Ryan Yells is my Twitter. If you want to send me something, Matt Ryan Yells on the Twitter machine. Young Ed picking glove bet 2. And let us know who you... Steph, let's end this poll and let's put up a new poll. Who's going to win this fight? Paul Craig or Johnny Walker. And the poll is boxing 55%, 30% for Bellator, 15% for a cupcake business. Which is a shame. Which is an utter fucking shame, in my opinion.
I did start one on the Twitter for us, and boxing is 58% right now. So
interesting.
It's been open a few minutes, not been open that long. So
Alan Loves MMA asking, do you think my under 2.5 rounds is safe or should I hedge? And also, hello from Indianapolis. Hello to you. 2.5 is... Oh, Stanley Franklin, don't talk about the Giants. Please, don't hurt me. Don't hurt my soul. I have very little joy in my heart right now. Don't take it from me. I knew they were going to lose. That was going to happen. Bear sauce versus tall alcohol man. Who will win? That is the chat right. That is the vote right now. 75-25 right now for Johnny Walker. Alan, in terms of your bet, 2.5 is I'd hedge maybe. I'd hedge the under just a little bit. The tail of the tape brought to you by hedging. It's like edging, but with an H. Paul Craig, 35. Johnny Walker, 30. Craig, 6'3.5". Walker, 6'6", both at 205. Walker with an 82-inch reach. Much better good as opposed to Paul Craig's, which is 76. And good Lord goddamn that jacket. Just that jacket. Every time I see it. Every time I see Bruce Buffer inside the 8-sided cage of doom, it gives me so much joy.
Has anyone ever compiled, like, photos of every single jacket?
I feel like someone's going to do a mosaic the day he retires.
I want to see that. I should sell some of them.
Johnny Walker just gesticulating, praying, doing hard hands, showing off the mustache that is not there. 19-7 heading into tonight. He is fighting now out of Dublin, Ireland. I believe he's at SBG, training under Kavanaugh, which is an interesting pivot. His return to Brazil, now fighting out of Ireland. Oh, under 2.5. Oh, yeah, no. Under 2.5 is fine. Under 2.5 is fine. That's a smart one. That's a very smart one. Trigger D with a good joke if you get it. If you know, you know. Craig is just... He may not have the height advantage. He may not have the reach advantage. But he has the I will set your face on fire advantage. If you are looking at both of these guys and wondering which one of them commits assault for a living, you would guess Paul Craig. You would not guess Johnny Walker. If you guessed who is auditioning to be Eddie from Tekken in the Tekken movie, so why the fuck has there not been a Tekken movie?
What is that? God only what? What does that tattoo say?
I don't know. Something about haggis? I don't know. About his dad. Keith Peterson, the referee. It's Mark Goddard, the referee. Both of these guys want to pummel each other. There's the ring card human who looked like Renee Paquette. And here we go, round 1 in the light heavyweight division. Both men standing in the center of the octagon. Feigning a leg kick was Walker. Walker controlling the center now. Craig bouncing around. A little bit of an electric football stance from the Scotsman. Head kick attempt blocked by Walker. A bit of a feign by Craig, just trying to find reach there. Could reach it. A hip thrust by Walker, which was interesting. Kick to the back of the knee lands by Walker. Both men still in the center of the octagon. Walker feigning. 420. Blaze it if you got it. In round number 1 of 3. Kick to the body landed by Craig. Pacing around is Paul Craig. Stepping back is Walker. Trying to use a lot of feints here. Craig continues to circle. Feigning and stepping back was Walker after the attempt by Paul Craig. 350. These guys feeling each other out here. Walker knows that his jaw has the propensity to turn into Wheat Tina given the right opportunity, and Paul Craig is a murder man. 3:38 left to go. Leading with the left. Walker throws a left hand, does not land fully. Tries to do a combination, but spams a left hand and gets out of there. Leg kick by Walker. Pulling up the leg was Craig. Another kick to the inside by Walker. Feign by Craig. 3:16. What left to go in round number 1? Left hand thrown by Craig. Pacing around is Walker. Trying to find something, if anything, here in the early going in round number 1. Walker on his back foot, stepping in is Craig. He won't land the left hand. Under 3 minutes left to go in round 1. Oh, and holding on to the leg is Craig, and Craig getting punched about the face, being pinataed, and it's over in round 1. If you took the under, give yourself a bell. Johnny Walker has stopped Paul Craig and is now doing the worm. He is not on the Moderna. He is not a conservative rib. It is a win for Johnny Walker via TKO. Everybody was talking about poor Johnny Walker's jaw, but when push came to shove, he hit him with the Owen Hart Enziguri fake and then punched the shit out of Paul Craig. My goodness, my gracious. Johnny Walker will go to 20-7. Paul Craig will fall to 16-6-1. And drink him if you got him. Let's see again on the replay. The kick attempt, Craig holds on to the leg, immediately eats a right hand, and then Walker just starts spamming that right hand. Punching forward, back fist, and this is the finishing sequence. A fucking flurry of powerful back fists right to the head of Paul Craig. Referee Mark Goddard can do nothing else but stop the fight. Caught him right on the side of the jaw and just went rakata, 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 rakata. And got it done and gets the win early going. Punched him right in the ear, it looked like. I think that was the blow that finally sent Craig down to the canvas. And holding on to the leg was was Craig. I don't know what the point was at that point.
I've never seen back fists like that before.
It
like
was those were devastating.
Manner.
Yeah, those were devastating back fists. And just Johnny Walker, when he's in the pocket, when he's in the zone, he is insanely dangerous. And Craig and Walker showing each other respect, hugging each other. And we are less than 25 minutes into the card. We just had the first walkout 10 minutes ago, and the fight is already over. Stephen Kelleher saying, I think Walker still gets knocked out in the replay. Fair point. He's still standing. Better than he ever did. Feeling like a real survivor. Living like a little kid. He's still standing. Yeah. But our poll, it was 50-50. Thank you to everybody who voted. Vertical 50 saying he picked it. He called it. Good on you. Let us know your predictions. Save those receipts. Let us know. Give us the icky. But thank you for that Vertical 50. I appreciate your energy and on-point commentary. Respect to you, my friend. Respect for you for hanging out with us. And there is someone who looks like a congressional candidate acting as the translator for good old D.C. Johnny Walker, happy to be back in Brazil. That is a back-to-back win following up his win over Ian Cutelaba. He gets back-to-back finish wins. The last one was an RNC. This one, just an emphatic TKO. Paul Craig holding on to that leg with impunity. Cost himself the win here tonight at UFC 283. That's gotta suck for Paul Craig. You think you make the right adjustment, the right move, and then bam, you just get pieced the fuck up by a dude with hammer fists. Literal hammers his fists. Would you want hammers as fists? I feel like that would be very unuseful when opening doors or doing anything. If you're just focused on hitting shit, then yeah, it's great. But, try to go to the bathroom using a hammer fist.
You'd be very popular at construction sites.
Yes, you would get union jobs.
Best demolition when you have to take down cupboards. It'd be very helpful.
Yes.
Very helpful for a very niche part of life.
Yes. You would need to be like an action figure where you can rotate hands. I feel like that's where evolution is going. Everybody's going to just end up having different hands, all opposable, but all different things. Like Edward Scissorhands is going to be an actual thing for barbers. Like I see this being a thing in the future because why not? Why not? Why can't it be? Why can't it be that?
I think our brains are going to evolve like koalas where they're extremely smooth.
So you're going in the opposite direction.
We're absolutely devolving.
Great, fun, fantastic.
It's another section from my political show.
The We're All Fucked report? And great point by Vertical 50. His relentless pursuit of submissions leaves him open. And Lucas, hey, glad to have you back there, buddy. Virginia Valley asking the important questions, with or without the claw end. I feel like that depends. And Johnny Walker just completely spread eagle across his entire team and now river dancing because he trains with Irishmen.
It's a good effort.
Lucas saying, you are the best, and koalas have big effing claws, baby, but they also have very smooth...
They have smooth brains, so they're very sweet, but they don't really have a lot of, they're not that smart.
Makashev, Volkanovski. The next time we'll be with you for UFC 284, the unification of the title, February 11th. It will be at 10 p.m. Eastern start time. So join us, schedule your calendars, set the notification bell February 11th. And Trigger D saying, hammer fists better than fingernails. It's fair. That's fair. Coming up next, it is the flyweight division. Lauren Murphy will take on Jessica Andrade. That one is going to be a banger. Andrade coming off of a winner of her last two, submission against Amanda Lemos and a TKO of Cynthia Calvillo. Her last loss was in 2021 at UFC 261 when she was knocked out by Valentina Shevchenko. She has knocked out 9, submitted 8 in decision 6. Lauren Murphy coming off a unanimous decision win over Miesha Tate back in July. And prior to that, she lost to Valentina Shevchenko in September of 2021 by TKO, which stopped a 5-fight winning streak over Jojo Calderwood, Liliana Shekarova, Roxanne Modafferi, Andrea Lee, and Mara Romero Borella. Her last losing streak, though, was in 2015. So 8 years since losing streaks. And we want to know your thoughts on the next fight. Will it be Andrade? Will it be Murphy? We'll find out a little bit later tonight. John Anik being shown on screen, looking like the guidance counselor that really cares about the kids in his school. Just really, really cares. He's a great stepdad. Shows up to soccer, cuts up the oranges. Olive's got the microphone. Olive literally stole Steph's mic for a second. Let us know your thoughts on the next fight. And... fuck, what a great win for Johnny Walker. I mean, a guy who was completely getting trolled in the chat just now, a guy who's been kind of a pincushion with a certain section of MMA fans because of his proclivity to have some premature jocularity and then get clip-clopped in front of God and everybody. But this time that did not happen. He wins his second straight fight, and Paul Craig falling a little low. Vertical 50 predicting Andrade a round 2 TKO. And Stephen Keller asking, koalas have evolved? In a sense, yes. In a sense. I would like to see that too. I'd be happy to see that fight again. That was a good fight. Let's run that shit back. But they're interviewing fighters now about who is the true king of Rio. And it is a long way to go here tonight. We got 4 more fights. Young Ed predicting Jessica Andrade round 1 easy money. This one's a toughie. I picked Andrade to win this fight in my Patreon column, patreon.com/Dan A. White. That's patreon.com/Dan A. White. Chapman asked, Stephen Chapman, if Volk wins at 155, do we think he tries to fight at both 145 or 155? He's got to stay at 155. You can't keep bouncing back and forth. You got to pick a weight class. We've seen that numerous times with people trying to hold multiple belts in multiple weight classes. We saw what happened to Amanda Nunes. You know, when you're trying to hold too many things and you have too many responsibilities, you end up fucking yourself. And, you know, you need to keep a consistent and healthy weight, in my opinion. If you're moving to one weight, stay at that weight. If you keep bouncing back and forth, it's not going to do you any real good in the long run. Even though you collect belts, is that what sustainability would be my focus? Ryan picking Murphy, and he's not necessarily sure why, but let us know if you have an opinion. Let us know if you have someone that you would like to pick. And also, you can follow me on Twitter at Matt Ryan Yells. That is Matt Ryan Yells. And we just sold some more tickets for Catalyst Wrestling. That's Rock the Bell House tomorrow at 4 p.m. 2:30 is the pre-show start time. And you can head on over and grab a drink starting at 2:30 p.m. That is tomorrow at the Bell House. For more information, go to tinyurl.com/rockthebellhouse. That's tinyurl.com/rockthebellhouse. And we're moving along here. They're showing video packages to fill time. They're talking about Jose Aldo. It looks like Aldo will be the next inductee into the UFC Hall of Fame. And we can work through some stuff. I'm excited to see Aldo go in the Hall of Fame. One of the most deserving people to enter the UFC Hall of Fame. Sorry, guys. Dealing with 95 things at once. But let us know your predictions in the chat. We got the LT number in there. Brendan Sokler had a professional obligation. We had an event today that he had to oversee, so he was unable to join us for the show tonight. And also a personal issue that did pop up that had nothing to do with him joining us with the broadcast. But
his penis was too big.
Yes, he's got gigantic dick syndrome.
He had to get his pants altered.
Yeah, he's got to get all of his pants altered.
Can you tell him now to send me the $20 he promised me?
Now, was it in crypto or was it in actual money?
No, real money. I'm not stupid.
But Jose Aldo will be going into the UFC Hall of Fame when he's not having former presidents of his home country stay in a bedroom that was Minion-themed. That was a thing that happened. And I'm glad it happened. But when you're building a Hall of Fame, you got to have guys like Jose Aldo in there. You can't not have a guy like that in there. Aldo was undefeated for almost a decade, as Vertical 50 says. Lucas, king of the streets, always Mauricio, who was in the black trunks. GDS is a very serious issue. It is. We're going to actually try to be raising some money for GDS. We'll be doing Dick Thong. Dick Thong 2023, and it's spelled Dick Thong because we will be raising awareness for giant thongs for those suffering with giant dick syndrome. Deacon saying, Aldo's starting to look like the guy that hosts Street Beefs. Motherfucker.
Are the fighters just yelling, I'm ready to die?
We should just do a weekly wrap-up on Street Beefs.
We should watch them and expose more. Not that they need more exposure. They get like millions of views.
Steven Chapman saying he hopes that Volk stays at 155 for maybe 2 defenses, then goes back, hopefully for a fight with fresh meat, not running back old fights. Vertical 50, banana hammocks, yes. Those would actually be, we would actually have to repurpose old hammocks. That's one of the things that we're raising money for with Dick Thon, is raising money for the conversion of hammocks and gently used tents into underwear for those with GDS. So if you want to learn more info about that, you can you could tweet Andrew Zarian at Andrew Zarian with GD Strong, and hashtag Dickthon.
Only tweet Andrew Zarian about giant dicks.
Only Andrew Zarian.
Please don't tweet that to me.
At hashtag Dickthon, hashtag GDS.
So enjoy it.
I'll do it right now. Hey, Andrew Zarian, thanks for supporting the fight against GDS. Hashtag Dickthon. Use the hashtag Dickthon when you tweet at Andrew. Jose Aldo makes his boxing debut on UFC Fight Pass on February 10th because everybody is going into boxing. Trigger D saying, do you or a loved one have GDS? Call my sister.
It's both like almost offensive, but not really. Like you're helping your sister out. Good for you.
That's a considerate brother or someone who's a search term on an internet website.
Yeah, but also trying to get your sister. Is it creepy or you really straddle the line between creepy and considerate?
Well, his sister's going to be straddling something, so
ding, ding, ding.
The host of this show. That's the sad part. I'm in charge. Taking a look at the chat. I would like one made from the hide of a bull moose. Where the fuck would we find a bull moose in the year of our Lord 2023? Where? How? When? We're in the interview package for Murphy and Andrade. Murphy walking into tonight 16-5. Andrade 23-9. Andrade, a former women's strawweight champion, tied with Rose Namajunas and Amanda Lemos with the most finishes in strawweight division history with 5, most knockouts in strawweight division with 3, second most fights in the division women's history with 21, most fight of the night bonuses of any woman in UFC history with 4. Trigger D saying, I walk a fine line between Einstein and Charles Manson. That's concerning. Very concerning. I have noodles on the other side of my laptop. I'm very tempted to eat the noodles, but I don't want you guys watching me slurp up noodles because it's disgusting. Yes, put up a poll or whether or not I should eat dinner. Let's go full fucking YouTuber bullshit. Steven Chapman. GDS harms 69,690 women each year. Please spread awareness with hashtag Save Trigger D's sister. We really trying to get your sister's back blown out, bro. Like, we care. I think. There's Megan O'Leary wearing something that was skinned off the Grimace or ripped off of the trunk of a 67 Coupe de Ville. And there's a new poll up. Should Matt eat dinner? Yes, no. No, he should eat my ass. Who are you quoting?
It'd be whoever's voting in the poll.
And here comes Jessica Andrade with a traditional Brazilian, native Brazilian headdress from Paraná, Brazil, making her walk to the octagon. Going to be interesting to see Andrade continue to fight her way back up to the top of the card. It's been a while since we saw her in title contention, but she is the only woman in UFC history to win in 3 different weight classes, has 5 performance of the night bonuses. She's won her last two, again, as I said before, against Amanda Lemos and Cynthia Calvillo. Her last loss was against Valentina Shevchenko at UFC 261. For Murphy, she's coming off of that win over Miesha Tate in July, and I think that's what earned her this opportunity, was that win over Miesha, and now just kind of stepping out of the frying pan into the fire. And that's not a knock on Miesha Tate, historically one of the greatest athletes in the history of WMMA, but as things tend to evolve, we saw it with Ronda Rousey when she got dropped, when all those things happened. Vertical 50 saying there's a fine line between Pee Wee Herman and Mr. Bean. One of them being you jerk off in a movie theater, and the other one is you marry a much younger woman. Those are things that happened, I think. Didn't Mr. Bean marry someone much younger? Nothing? All right.
What did you want me to actually know that?
I thought you might know that. You're an Anglophile.
I don't know who they marry. I don't know who Rowan Atkinson marries. Is he dead? He might be dead. I don't know. He might be dead.
He's not dead.
He might be dead.
Well, he's not. Vertical 50 when Hazaran Trigadine. Vertical 50 when horizontal 69 walks in. That's a good one. That's a good one. And we see the walk to the octagon. And this is going to be interesting. I'm picking Jessica Andrade. Murphy's got a shot, but I'm picking Andrade. Let us know in the chat. Trigger D, she protects but mostly serves. Wow. Wow, bro. That's your sister. That's your sister, man. That's your... You know what? God bless. Go with whatever you believe in. Go with whatever creator you believe in. And so thank you so much for joining us, Laverne PD. We got a big main event tonight, but the co-main event is the fight I am looking forward to see. That is 2 fights from now. If you're setting your DVRs for any fight tonight, that would be the one I would be looking to see. But Lauren Murphy, former Invictive FC bantamweight champion, second highest takedown defense in flyweight history with 76%, fourth most wins in flyweight history. Let us know your predictions in the chat. The vote right now, 69% say I should eat dinner. Nice. 23% say no. 8% say no, he should eat my ass. So it's about 69 to 31, which is good odds for me. Good odds for me. We'll keep that vote going through the duration of the fight. Murphy and Andrade showing each other respect, dapping each other up as Murphy saunters around the octagon. Stanley Franklin fights a little slow and sends sister pics. Bro. Can't be that thirsty on Maine. Can't be that thirsty on Maine. Just can't. Take a look at the tail of the tape. Murphy 39, Andrade 31. Andrade at the height and reach disadvantage. Murphy 5'5" with a 67-inch reach. Andrade 5'1.5" with a 62-inch reach. On Murphy with a half-pound weight advantage, 125.5 to 125. Stephen Chapman asking, does the loser of Figgy and Moreno move divisions? I feel like they'd have to move up. The loser would have to move up. It's a loser leaves town situation, because would they do a 5th fight? I feel like the only way they would do a 5th fight at that point is if they moved up. But I'm not sure, and I agree. I can watch them fight every day of the year. Young Ed walks a fine line between Jordan Levitt and Butterbean. God bless Butterbean. Miss Butterbean. Didn't he fight recently? I feel like he fought recently. Well, I'm not necessarily sure. And man in a Gucci shirt showing off his statue of Jesus tattoo with the Brazilian flag. That's a Stanley Franklin hot dog down a hallway, Bert. God bless you, idiots. I love the lot of yous. You're all just psychopaths, but you are psychopaths. Murphy versus Andrade, our second fight of the night. If you bet on the under, you'll have an interesting one. Osiris Maya, who might be Demian Maya's brother, is the official for this fight. And we will get ready with round number 1. Andrade Murphy, and here we go, round number 1 in the flyweight division, 5-minute rounds. Murphy coming out the box, being hyper-aggressive, now circling around. Leg kick by Andrade. Left hand, leading with the left hand is Murphy. Body, leg to the thigh, kick to the thigh, just chopping away at the thighs, but Murphy moving out of the way. Andrade trying to chop down the tree early here. Kick again, and then a couple of solid shots by Murphy, continuing to lead with that left hand. Kick to the thigh by Andrade. Steps into the center of the octagon. Andrade continuing to chop down Murphy, trying to hematoma those legs, trying to light them up. Murphy standing in the center, edging towards the center of the octagon, near the Manscaped logo. Now Murphy will get into the center. Andrade missing with another kick to the leg. Bicycle kick by Andrade, landing in the center of the chest of Murphy, but not as emphatically as she would want it to be. 3:45 left to go in round number 1. Leading with the left hand is Murphy, pushing around. Kick to the thigh, right hand by Andrade, and Andrade laying a barrage onto Murphy. Murphy landing a right hand. Stifling a left hand with one of her own was Andrade. Andrade now leading with the left, trying to match the cadence of Murphy, and it's turning into a fight in the phone booth, throwing hands, and Murphy already has a little bit of the raspberry jam starting to pool up, that nose a little redder than she would want it to be, looking like Rudolph in the trap. 3:05 left to go in round number 1. Murphy looking to fight a little more robotic, more hunched over. Kick to the thigh. Andrade lands a couple of shots, but Murphy puts her in rewind mode, and Andrade takes a couple of shots, spins out of a potential accidental takedown attempt by Murphy. 2:44 left to go in round number 1. Left-right combination by Murphy. Andrade continuing the pace and continue to try to close the distance. Inside, Murphy feigns a takedown attempt. Andrade gets a kick to the back of the thigh of Murphy. Leading with that left hand and that left leg. That left leg continuing to take abuse is by Andrade. Solid left-right combination. Andrade stepping inside, landing a solid left hand. Murphy continuing to bounce around the octagon. 2:12, now 2:10 left to go in the round. And a takedown by Murphy. Andrade gives up her back, gets right back up to a vertical base. Reverse waistlock, spins out of it, does Andrade. And both fighters will go back to the center of the octagon. Standing in the center, closer to the center now. Murphy with a right-left combination, missing with an overhand left was Andrade. Minute 47 left to go in round number 1 of 3. The flyweight division, missing with the uppercut was Andrade after an overhand right spinning back fist by Andrade. That 16 of 20% in terms of leg kicks by Andrade, landing 80% so far. Left shot land. Ooh, another right hand thrown by Murphy on Murphy by Andrade. Andrade looking to throw a lot of leather here, needed a body. Lauren Murphy seems like she is caught in a blender. Paul Felder claiming that she looks really confused. There's a level change. There's a level problem between both of these fighters. Looks like Murphy's kneecap might be a little bit in trouble after the preponderance of kicks to it by Jessica Andrade. Left hand. Right hand. Murphy taken down. No, keep standing. Almost knocked backwards. Kick to the body. Right hand by by Andrade. Murphy now continuing to try to fight away, just trying to stay alive for the next 35 seconds. Stay upright and cogent for the next 30 seconds to keep going in this fight. 29 seconds now, overhand right. 22 seconds now. battling through it. Takedown. Gets the reverse. Back elbow from the grapple. 5 seconds left to go in the round. Murphy trying to stick it out. 3, 2, 1, and that's the end of the round. Things going on. If Andrade wins according to Trigger D, he'll take a shot. Andrade barrage, nice. Murphy will fall in the first minute of round 2 according to Chapman. Mike Gilbert. And looking at the face of Lauren Murphy, it looks like she is from her nose, there's a ring from the point of her nose all the way around her face to where Jessica Andrade has pummeled this poor woman about the face. Just right hands, landing shots, not with impunity, mind you, but finding the right connection points, finding the right traction points. It is a rough night so far for Jessica Andrade. And checking in on the poll, 67% say, yeah, I should eat dinner. We begin round number 2. Both fighters standing in the center of the octagon. Kick to the body by Andrade. Murphy trying to be a little more aggressive. Kick to the knee. 20 seconds gone by. Fat baby drill taking place in the room. Left hand thrown by Murphy, not landing. 4:33 left to go, over almost 30 seconds gone by. Standing in the center of the octagon, Murphy throwing that left hand. Andrade, Murphy dragging. She's not walking as much as dragging that left leg, that lead leg. Takedown attempt by Murphy. Lands an uppercut, but gets a right hand for her trouble. You said the first minute. Steven Chapman said if Andrade wins, he's going to take another bite of his product that he purchased. That's an interesting... So you're going to be on the moon by the co-main, my man. So God bless. God bless. 3:50 left to go in the round. 3:45 left to go, and Andrade laying a leather again. Just throwing heavy strikes. Murphy unable to figure out what's going on. Lauren Murphy fighting like she was Morgan Murphy, the comedian. And by that, I mean I don't think Morgan Murphy knows how to fight, which is why she would be fighting like Morgan Murphy. It's not a slight on Morgan Murphy. That was just the first Murphy that came in my head. I almost said Eddie Murray, which would have been also wrong. 3:20 left to go in round number 2. Downstairs, upstairs. Are you being served, Lauren Murphy? Yes, you are. With strikes by Jessica Andrade. Takedown attempt by Murphy. Gets 3 shots to the face for her trouble. 3:04 left to go in round number 2. Overhand right, left uppercut. Murphy has landed 23%, 30 of 133. Andrade, 82 of 156 for over 50% of her strikes landing. And now, shots by Andrade. Andrade continuing to lay the leather. Takedown attempt by Murphy. Not going. Knees to the body. Knee to the body. Missed. 4 shots to the abdomen and a shot to the right hand to the head by Andrade. 8 of 8 on takedown defense is Andrade. Kick to the thigh. Overhand left. 2:09 left to go. Takedown attempt by Murphy. Not landed. 2:01, now 2 minutes left to go in the round. Bicycle kick missed. Bicycle kick also missed by Murphy. Kick to the knee again. Andrade standing in the center of the octagon. And you're welcome, Eldred Jonas. I was just trying to find the right metaphor, and every once in a while, you'll get a real fucking clunker. And I gave you a real fucking clunker. And speaking of clunk, That's the noise going up against Lauren Murphy's skull right now as Andrade continues to land strikes. Oh, man, she's looking like Eric Stoltz right now, and not in a good way, is Lauren Murphy. Kick to the thigh. Got a kick to the midsection by Andrade. Another takedown attempt by Murphy. Murphy trying to pull the takedown. Andrade stops it. Now pulls it into a submission, trying to lock in the guillotine, trying to lock in that choke, trying to end this fight. 1 minute left to go in round number 2. Will Murphy see round 3? Knee to the head by Andrade. Trying to posture up is Murphy. Holding down the neck is Andrade. Back up are both fighters. Knee missed, but a left-right combination landed by Andrade. 40 seconds left to go in round number 2. 68 strikes to the head, 13 to the body, 34 to the legs by Andrade. 34, 8, and 3, same number for Murphy. It is a long night in the office for Lauren Murphy, who faced Miesha Tate, but is facing a tougher fate than she anticipated here tonight against Andrade. It looks like the braids of Murphy are starting to get punched out. Like her hair is starting to get punched out of the braids. They're unbunching in the back, and Andrade rights and lefts, continuing with impunity. This fight is basically over, and it's over. Murphy will get stopped. Andrade will win in the second round. Not a fun night for Lauren Murphy. She will fall to 16-6. Her first loss since 2021 against Valentina Shevchenko. That one also by a TKO. Kneecap is jelly. Trigger D saying gelatin is made from skeletons. That sounds like a line from a song. Gelatin is made from skeletons.
It's made from stuff in the bones.
Yes.
In animal bones.
Marathon
so,
refrigeration. Yeah, it's technically right. Kind of. Marathon Refrigeration joining us. Shout out to you, my friend. And if you like what you hear,
Straight cash, homie.
or you like what you see, what's good?
Straight cash, homie.
You can donate to the Super Chat or go to patreon.com/Dan A. White. That's patreon.com/Dan A. White. Murphy, PJ Simpson, Murphy's going to look like Joanna tomorrow. Oofa. Vertical Filthy called it again. Trigger D will be taking a shot in honor of that. And I believe the poll says that I can eat now. Can I have a cola beverage if at all possible? Wait, they're going to the third round? What the fuck? Okay. That was the end of the round, but they'll go to the third? What the fuck was that? These dicks. These fucking dicks. Right hand by Andrade. Marathon Refrigeration,
cash,
donating $5
her nose
Canadian.
is barely on her face.
Straight
Why
cash,
are they
homie.
still?
Oh, they gotta get to the next. They gotta take time for the next fight. Right hand. Oh my God. Now it's a hockey fight again. Andrade getting the better of that one. 4:15 left to go in this round. Murphy needs a miracle and a lot of ice. A lot of ice. 405 jumping bicycle kick by Andrade not landing. Head kick blocked by Murphy. Left hand thrown by Murphy. Well, you're still going to get, it's still going to happen, Trigger. That's still going to happen. Overhand right missed by Murphy. Completely feigning it was Andrade. Left hand, just a barrage of strikes from Andrade. Murphy starting to look like the lead of the Beauty and the Beast show from the late 1980s with Linda Hamilton. Guy that played Hellboy in the first movie. The second one, the first version of Hellboy. 3:22 left to go in the round. Ron Perlman, that's who it is. He does the UFC voiceovers. 3:16, what left to go in the round? Andrade pressuring Murphy up against the fence. Near the back of the thigh. Murphy trying to wear down Andrade. I'd say it's a fair 10-8, 10-8 so far if this does go to the scorecards. There's blood on the back of Andrade's fight shorts. Never a good sign when your opponent's blood When your blood is on the opponent's shorts and they're in the back. Not a good sign. And now trying to pull an arm submission, trying to pull a Kimura is Murphy. Murphy trying to use the fence to try to lock in the Kimura from the bottom, and pulling out of it is Andrade. She ends up on her ass and gets right back up, and Murphy continuing to eat punches about the face and neck. 2:24 left to go in the final round. And a solid amount of strikes from Andrade. Only 3 prelim fights went to distance. 151 significant strikes to 62. It's 151 to 62. Murphy lands a right hand, but Andrade lands about 20 more. 2 minutes left to go in the round now, and Murphy continuing to show the toll this fight is taking on her. From round 1, we saw a switch flipped, pardon me. And Andrade continuing to piece up Lauren Murphy. Murphy continuing to circle around the octagon. Standing in the center now, both fighters. Minute 26 now, 25 left to go. Murphy is a warrior. Right hand. Oh, goodness. That was a kick to the knee on top of it. Murphy continuing to take lefts and rights right to the face. Right hand followed up by another left. Murphy continuing to be in trouble. Another left-right combination. Devastating shots. Continuing to put the pressure on is Andrade. Under a minute left to go now. 49 seconds. Murphy is a warrior, but I feel like this fight should have been stopped a while ago because it has been so one-sided despite her ability to defend herself. 35 seconds left to go. Left, right. Looking like Gerard Gojo versus Taylor Tooley right now in terms of just the one-sidedness of this fight. Not just left-right combinations, overhand, like bear paw swings from Andrade. Able to close the distance and keep Murphy on her back foot. And again, just devastating strikes from Andrade. Just continuing to pick apart Murphy. And mercifully, this fight is over. We will go to the scorecards. And my goodness, Murphy's face looks like Pazuzu's.
That could be 3 10-8 rounds.
Yeah,
right?
No, that was 3 10-8 rounds. Like, it could be 10-7 the way it went. Like, that fight, in my opinion, could have been stopped.
Well, you're not watching the commentary. I have it on. I can hear.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan was begging for them to stop the fight.
Well, Joe Rogan's not even there. It would have been Paul Felder.
I'm sorry. It was Cormier.
Daniel Cormier.
Yeah.
A fair one. We'll take a look at the chat here. 30-22 is Stanley Franklin's unofficial scorecard. Steph, did we do the poll?
The one where you can eat dinner?
Yes.
Yes.
What was the final results of that? I don't see it.
The final results was 71% said yes. 14% said no, they want you to starve. And another 14% wants you to eat their ass. So do with that what you will.
Send me information at Matt Ryan Yells on Twitter. Can I have a cola beverage if at all possible?
Yes, 1 second.
Trigger D saying Murphy by split decision. If they do that in Brazil, that would end opposite. That would end the opposite of well. Everyone would die. Everyone would actually die.
Oh, that was.
The official decision brought to you by the piece of steak I just put in my mouth. After 3 rounds, we go to the scorecards. The judges score the fight. 30-25, 30-25, 30-26 for your winner by decision, Jessica Andrade. Jesus.
Wow, there was some really bad scores, huh? Really
Yeah, 30 to
lopsided.
Yeah, that one was that was a prelim. That could have been a prelim fight. Andrade's name recognition kind of gave that's a fight night fight. And we just saw that there's levels to this game. But Murphy takes the loss. She will fall to 16-6 on her pro career. Vertical 50 asking a good question. To the last 14%, can he eat his dinner while he eats your ass? Fair question. I don't know how that would work.
Would you eat your dinner out of someone's ass? Now we gotta.
Depends on who's
the
ass.
next step.
It
Yeah.
depends if it's clean. Whose ass? Is it
You guys are
John
sick
Lennon's
people.
pancake
Thanks
ass?
for letting
You
me
can't
join.
know. That's part of the poll.
Oh, that's a terrible poll. Awful. Awful. Terrible. But let us know. Yeah, it's Stephen Chapman saying, I've never heard a decision that decisive on the cards. Young Ed predicting no more decisions. He's predicting finishes for the rest of the night. Let us know what you guys think. Do you think there will be decisions? You asked for this. But we've got 3 more fights for you tonight. Coming up next, Neil Magny going up against Gilbert Burns. How you doing over there, Steph?
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah?
I'm okay. I mean, no, we could be better.
How could you be better?
The economy is collapsing.
Oh, I meant
The environment is
I meant
dying.
within the range of control we have.
I think we've had the most rain we've ever had in a winter because the rain should be snow. So no, I'm fine. Totally. I'm rethinking ever having children because why would I want to bring them into a world like this? And slapping is trying to be made into a sport. So doing just fine.
Power slapping.
Power slapping. Yes, excuse me.
PJ Simpson asking, would it be SpaghettiOs out of Danny DeVito's ass?
Jersey Mike's. Be Jersey Mike's. That's not good for his brand.
Yes. And there would be a limoncello. Stephen Kelleher spaghetti by Chokeout. Noodles.
So is she also Brazilian?
Yes.
Okay. So they put I guess they were right to put that belt on that giant Jesus statue.
Yeah.
They're sending out
Every fight tonight has a Brazilian in the on the main card. There's one Brazilian per fight. I thought you were going to point out that the captioning said, speaking a non-English language.
the captioning does not know what Portuguese is.
No. Good job, ESPN. Stephen Kelleher predicting eye poke. Fat baby right over here. 213 significant strikes, 148 significant head strikes, 21 significant body strikes, and how many leg kicks, Steph?
44?
Yeah.
44.
That is a lot. Those are a lot of kicks.
It's a lot of hitting.
It's a lot, much
It's
hitting.
much hitting. I know. Olive's very mad. She wanted more kicks.
And there's a recently single Mackenzie Dern in the audience. And there's Uriah Faber in Brazil for
Andrade,
reasons.
just so you know, sorry to interrupt, but Andrade
Fine.
she just said she'd go to China to fight for the title. So
How's it
That
going?
might be-
Zhang Wei
How are
Lei.
the noodles?
Noodles are great. Zhang Wei Lei going up against Andrade in China. Let's go. And Derek Lewis coming up in
that's
his
what
next
she
fight.
wants.
I would watch that. I would watch that fight. I would very much watch that fight. These noodles are good. Shout out to whatever place we ordered noodles from.
Honeygrow. Honeygrow in Hoboken.
Well, they're not giving us money, so fuck them.
That's fair. Okay, so fuck Honeygrow.
No, don't know. Unless they want to pay
I'm
us.
confused. Which one do you want?
Then they should contact us. Shoot us a DM.
You praise them or not, I don't know what to do.
No, the food is very good, but we won't say the name of the business unless they give us free food or money.
Oh, yay, capitalism.
Exactly.
We live in a terrible time.
Yes, Neil Magny and Gilbert Burns is our next fight. Noodles eating out of Uriah's butt chin. Interesting.
Have you tried the soda that has replaced Sierra Mist?
No.
Would you like me to bring it to you?
No.
Okay.
I'll do it before
Bring
the
it to
co-main
him
event
anyway.
because I have a beverage.
Wait a yes and. I just wanted you to try a soda.
Well, I'll try. Then I'll try it. Jesus, I said I'll try it later. All right, what's the name of this fucking thing? Starry. All right, hold on. Fucking Sprite.
That is not Sprite. It is less sparkly. It doesn't burn your throat.
All right, it's a smoother Sprite.
It is a smoother Sprite.
Young Ed thought I was purging. Wish. But coming up next, it is Magny versus Gilbert Burns in our co-main event. Surge Cola. Never had a Surge.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, never had Surge.
Can he describe what it's hard to describe. It's not necessarily lemon lime. It wasn't really like squirt, which is grapefruit. Like, it was very difficult to describe. It was a color not found in nature.
I thought squirt was oh, never mind.
No, if it tastes like grapefruit during that, then she's very sick. It shouldn't be a thing.
Trigger D is almost out of Jameson, and he's got to switch over to proper 12.
Ooh.
Remember that time I made all those cocktails in our old kitchen?
I liked proper 12.
It was good. It's all right.
I liked it.
Kelleher picking Neil Magny. I don't know who to pick, man. Like, I think it's Magny, but the guys he fought, guys who Burns fought in his last 3 fights, Hamzat, Usman, and Stephen Thompson. His only win was over Stephen Thompson, but fuck. Trigger D comparing it to like if Mountain Dew sat on the shelf for 5 months too long.
Okay.
Makachev and Volkanovski is the next super fight.
I was not a Mountain Dew person.
I've never been a fan.
Yeah.
Never been a fan.
The one soda that I have given my heart to, and it will never come back, is Pepsi Blue. I love it so much. I was obsessed with it when I was a teenager. They brought it back very suddenly and randomly in the summer of 2021, and they never brought it back again.
They did it to spite you.
You know what? I agree.
It was penance for the pandemic.
I think it was a personal attack on me.
Yes.
To bring something back that I love just to snatch it away again.
Mm-hmm. That tracks. All of the fat baby.
She's very vocal.
She's very vocal this evening. Vertical 50 picking Magny by decision. It's going to be a wild fight, but Marathon Refrigeration picking Magny. Stanley Franklin picking Magny in round number 2. Vertical 50 saying Surge is Mountain Dew and 7-Up is smoked crack. Oh, Surge as if Mountain Dew and 7-Up smoked crack and had a baby. That is a visual. Now I'm just imagining 2 giant 2-liters smoking the crack. Fighters fight here. Fair enough. Joe Blair saying we can bring back Crystal Pepsi. Toker 88, Mountain won't. Waka Waka. Trigger D saying Pepsi Blue is fire, calling it the McRib of sodas.
Yes!
Fuck the McRib. The McRib is... We've tried it on this show. I wasn't a fan.
You didn't like it?
I didn't know. It's all right. It's not the best thing
You
ever.
eat so much junk already, but the McRib is
Fuck you. This has got tomatoes in it.
too low. It's a
There's
nightshade.
spinach. There's tomatoes. There's a bunch of shit in here.
That's a nightshade food.
Well, I'm not Tom Brady.
According to Tom Brady, you can't have tomatoes.
Well, fuck him. He lost.
That's fair. He also lost he's divorced, right?
Yeah,
That's what happens when you don't eat tomatoes.
Well, he's dating a model half his age.
Oh, good. Something different for him.
Yes. It was actress, model. That's how the taxonomy goes. Trigger D, Mountain Shunt. Clever one. What is 7-Up Gold? Young Ed picking Burns to win by knockout. Vertical 50 talking about 7-Up Gold. I don't know what that is. I know about 7-Up Cherry. Welcome to Soda Talk with Matt Matt, and Steph. The name of our podcast. But coming up next is Magny and Burns. Let's talk about these fighters real quick. Darkberry Dr. Pepper. Ooh, that one's not. I'm a Big Red. I've never had Big Red.
We had Darkberry in here like for
I know.
months.
I said,
oh, it's my favorite. Oh, it's so
good. I was Big Red. I've never had.
Out of the gum?
No, the soda.
Right. They made a soda out of the gum.
No. They just happen to share names.
Oh. Okay.
It's a very, Costco and Costco. It's like one of those things. Gilbert Burns, performance of the night 4 times. Coming off of the fight of the night against Hamzat at UFC 273 in April of last year. Ended a 6-fight winning streak, that ran from December 18th of 2018 to May 2020. That was his loss to Kamaru Usman that started his current losing streak. He's lost his last 2, but he's knocked out 6, submitted 8 in decision 6. He's been knocked out twice in decision 3 times. Magny has time with Roger Herrera and Kevin Holland for the most wins in a calendar year. He won 5 times in 2014. He's got the most decision wins in UFC welterweight and UFC history. He's got most wins in welterweight history at 20. He's got the second most unanimous decision wins in UFC history with 10. Most decision bouts in UFC welterweight history with 15. Hair in my mouth. Always good television. Longest fight time in welterweight division history, 5 hours, 58 minutes, and 19 seconds. Second most bouts in division history with 28. So he's 28. That's not bad for fighting in the UFC. Fight of the night against Kelvin Gastelum. He's coming off a submission win over Daniel Rodrigues with a Darce choke in November of last year. Bounced back from a submission loss in June of 2022 to Shavkat Rakhmonov. He's 7-3 in his last 10. He's knocked out 7, submitted 4, decisioned 16. But he's been knocked out twice, submitted 5 times, and lost by decision twice. Tab Light. Interesting. Pepsi Blue is Liquid McRib. Joe, you are in an interesting place tonight, buddy. Just an interesting place. Neil GSP Magny. Hair was in noodles. You're welcome. No, it's just I have very long hair in it.
That's a very good, it's like a good poem. Hair was in noodles.
Pineapple Crush. I've tasted pineapple soda, not a fan. I'm not a fan of pineapple in general, but pineapple soda just doesn't sound right.
Faygo.
Ooh, Juggalo. You just want to go to the gathering.
I'm sorry. Is that a secret?
Mm-mm.
I want to enter the Miss Juggalette contest. I believe I would win.
Put it on the poll.
What?
Would Steph win the Miss Juggalette competition?
No, that's just gonna hurt my feelings.
Oh, come on.
If anybody says no,
They love you.
Yeah, but they could also say no, just as like, hey, look, we're gonna be honest with you. It's a tough competition. You might not make it.
They also may think higher of you than seeing your ceiling being Miss Juggalette 2023. Opposite of GDS is hair and noodles. Fair point. Fair point, Trigger. Have I had a hard root beer? Yes, but not in many years. I remember the hard soda fad was like a decade ago.
Not your father's root beer?
Yeah.
Because they also made like lemon lime, like their version of Sprite. They made an apple pie soda.
They made an orange soda that was pretty good. Whoop whoop, Steph. Whoop whoop from Joe Blair. And
is my voice much louder than
I had you a little higher in the board, and you're more. My mic is more deeper. Again, I'm speaking a deeper tone, and also because I have the compulsion to yell during fights, I keep myself a little lower in the mix than you.
Women's voices should be louder. Ayo.
Lucas saying pineapple sprinkled with chili salt. What the fuck is chili salt?
Ooh.
People are teaching us new and exciting things. But Stanley is a man of culture, Stephen. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. And also, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe.
Straight cash, homie.
We see you lurking.
Straight cash, homie.
We want you to be a part of the community. Say what's up. Say what's good. Let us know where you're watching from, what you're sipping on, what you're eating. Are you eating noodles? Are you eating hair? Let us know. And also,
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
donate to the Super Chat or go to patreon.com/Dan A. White. That's patreon.com/Dan A. White. One day we're going to have to do a face reveal, Steph.
One day. I mean, you tell them my social media. Like, you can find me. It's not hard.
Steph Sotilli on all socials is where you can find
I've
Steph.
been a stage actress for 15 years. I've been involved in the New York comedy scene for just as long. Like, I'm not a secret.
I've got a secret.
You could go find me. I'm not hiding.
We'll talk. We can make it happen if you want.
We could. We could, but I feel like if you're not doing the work to just Google, type in someone's name on Twitter or Instagram, I really don't know what your problem is.
We'll have handles and stuff coming.
Would you like me to put that in the poll?
Or thirds.
Hey, let us know if you're eating hair. Please don't. So can you explain what Manscaped is? Because that keeps their sponsor. Is it specifically for your balls, or is it just all for razors of all things?
It's primarily for your balls.
Okay.
90% for your balls. A shout out to Joe Blair filming a lumberjack match and then eating 2 hamburgers. I feel like that was the plot of a Popeye comic. Wait,
no, who is the Wimpy, right?
Yeah, Wimpy.
Yeah. So somebody is asking if I watch what is Kill Tony?
Tony Hinchcliffe's podcast.
I do not.
Let's take a look at the chat. PJ Simpson
Straight cash,
doing the
homie.
thing.
Straight cash, homie.
Under 2.5 rounds at 135. I'd take that money. But he donated $10 to the cause. I wonder right now if we should go over to a certain website and see if we could do that. Trigger D saying I would 100% eat hair if the food is good. It was my own hair. I know it was my own hair. The food is very good. But also,
Straight cash, homie.
so I don't have to buy noodle hairs. Taking a look at the tail of the tape, 6'3", Magny with the height and reach advantage, 80-inch reach to 71-inch reach. Burns walking into 5'10", 36 years old. Magny 35, 170 pounds. Burns and 171 pounds for Magny. And it's time for the Coco main event. And Bruce Buffer with his nice-ass jacket is back out there.
Are you a fan of ass jackets?
Yeah, I'm a fan of ass jackets. Ash Jacket sounds like the name of the star of a Pokemon pornographic film.
Of a what?
Pokemon porno.
Ass Jacket?
Yeah.
Is that its final evolution?
No, that's the name of the Pokemon hunter.
Oh, okay.
Instead of Ash Ketchum, it's
right,
Ass
it's
Jacket.
Ass Jacket.
Yes, exactly.
Fuck 'em all.
I know I gotta put my dick in you fucking mine. Oh, I'm gonna come right inside your mom.
I don't know the Pokemon theme song that well.
You fuck me and I fuck you, fucking mine. Gotta fuck 'em all. Joe Blair saying, I will gladly film a lumberjack match Tuesday for 2 hamburgers today. Double guns.
What was the amount of money that somebody had to donate and then give you a song to sing?
$20.
Okay.
Donate $20 and I'll sing you a song.
Hey, somebody already did that. So, hey, you want to
if you donate,
put your song in
round number 1. Here we go. Magny, hands high. Burns, loaded up, looking like a fullback in full mic all-stop mode. Both in the center of the octagon. Burns with a low kick, spins out, nothing landing. Both men still trying to feel each other out, throwing left hands early going here of round number 1. Burns missing with a body kick. Looking for something here. Deiveson Burns is going to chill Magny out over a minute gone by in round number 1. Burns trying to load up that right leg, throw a body kick. Has not thrown anything yet. Head kick attempt blocked. The difference between the body types is so stark when you see them on camera. Burns steps inside, goes for the takedown, takes down Magny. Magny trying to pivot off the cage, and now stacking up is Burns, trying to get into side control. 311. Amber is the color of your energy, and the woman who owns a mountain that I have a quarrel with. 305 left to go in the round. Trying to posture up is Burns, trying to get on top here. Burns gets back up to a standing position, tries to get right back up and climb the lanky legs of Neil Magny. Magny using his reach as a huge advantage here. Trying to posture up the hip, pop the hips up and over was Burns, and now into a variation of side control. Looks like he's trying to go for a magistral cradle, is Burns. Holding on to the neck and the leg. Now it looks like he's trying to go for a vertical press here. Just try to go for a traditional pro wrestling pin while holding Magny in place. 2:11 left to go. This is the Jiu-Jitsu fuck of the evening. Brought to you by Catalyst Wrestling. You can buy tickets to Catalyst Wrestling right now at tinyurl.com/rockthebellhouse. Posturing now into side control is Burns. Burns holding down Magny. 1:52 left to go in round number 1. Trying to pop over is Burns. Trying to figure out which direction to go. As he holds down the leg, the right leg, posturing up the hips is Magny. 98 seconds left to go in the round. Trigger saying big boot and a leg drop. Well, Hulk Hogan, a body slam and a leg drop would be an answer in certain situations. That's not the answer here. And especially if the Thetans are involved. And now, in top position, trying to posture up, Burns got the hips over the legs of Magny. 1:13 left to go in the round. Now holding him down in the last tango in Paris, where he is riding him voraciously, trying to hold down Magny. Trying to climb up the body. Trying to scramble his Magny. He has been held in place here by Gilbert Burns. And that's it. It's over. He got the choke in, got the shoulder right underneath the neck. Straight cash, homie. First round. Gilbert Burns gets the win over Neil Magny. Whew, that was a quickin'. And checking the score of the Giant game, how hurt oh my God. Why even show up to the fucking game? God damn it.
What was the score?
38-7 Philadelphia.
Oh, that's not bad. Did they have a good time?
No.
Did they try their best?
They tried their best. Wasn't fucking good enough. It was this fight manifest. No, it was the fight before it, actually. And Trigger D is drunk. Chapman is 3 for 3. Young Ed called it. It's been a fun night so far. And it's time for the fights we paid $80 for, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, these pay-per-views cost $80 now. I'm deathly afraid of the day when WWE, if they go private, make all of their premium live events $60 instead of having it be on the cock.
Shut your
I'm
mouth.
sure everybody will be upfront and pay whatever it is that they ask and not do anything illegal.
All else fails,
Sure.
we'll just do these for pay-per-views. I'm sorry, premium live events. Don't come at me.
No, I know what they'll do. They'll complain about it, say they won't, they're never going to watch again, and then secretly have a secret credit card where they buy it all.
Why would they need a secret credit card though, Matt? Like, it's not like they're showing. It's not like it's the SEC. Like, wrestling fans have to file with the Wrestling Fan Commission every year. If that happened, a lot of people buying replica belts would not be buying replica belts.
Fair, but
Jesus.
that's what I'm saying. It's an anonymous thing, right?
Young Ed would give up all of his wins for a Moreno win. And shout out to Charlene. How you doing? I'm having noodles. Lovely stir fry from a place in Hoboken. I think I've passed by this place like 15 times, Steph, and I've never eaten there.
Because it's healthy.
No, because I'm usually in Hoboken either to get my hair cut or to run an errand. You fucking dick.
Because the professor and I wanted salads because our body is telling us, hey, you're eating like assholes. So that's why.
Well, I'm sorry that your body doesn't like you as much as my body cares about me.
Sure.
Gilbert Burns got the win via submission, so we have 2 fights left to go tonight. Deiveson Figueiredo going up against Brandon Moreno, and then Glover Teixeira against Jahmal Hill. And it's 11:30, Steph. We're at the co-main event.
Yes. Ooh.
Which is awesome, because I have to get up fucking early tomorrow. Not looking forward to it.
You know they're going to
knockouts in the first
midnight,
round
right?
both times. Let's go. Home by 12.
Shut up, Matt. Shut up. PJ Simpson, will he call out Cum Shot? Who's Cum Shot? I forgot who Cum Shot is. Vertical 50 saying, got to get those poke bowls. Steph almost got a poke bowl.
Yeah, exactly. I knew you wouldn't like it.
Stanley Franklin, throw mashed potatoes on steak, done and done. Fair enough. Fair enough. Stephen Kelleher, does Father Time show up for Deiveson? I hope not. I really hope not. And Gilbert Burns is just he's got Randy Savage 86 eyes just glaring at the camera and yelling. And now he holds up the Monster Energy drink with his team so he can be compensated because capitalism is a scam. And the only way these fighters can be paid equitably is by ads and being controlled by the corporation. Dictate the means of production, fuckers. Sorry, I gotta get it. Every once in a while. Alexander Pantoja, ranked number 2 in the world, in the house tonight. Charles Oliveira du Bronx. Shout out to Maze Chaser on Instagram, my buddy Scotty Campbell, who creates amazing MMA art pieces. If you look him up, Maze Chaser, that's M-A-Z-E Chaser on Instagram. I've got some of his art. We've given away some of his art here before on the show. I've got a Sean O'Malley piece he did. I've got a Charles Oliveira piece. And it's really awesome.
What does that mean? Trigger raw steak. Sushi is for ranchers?
What
does that mean?
I don't know. Oh, sushi for ranchers.
Oh, raw steak is okay. Because it sounded like something Reed Drummond's husband would say. Sushi is for ranchers.
All right, here's a question. Who would win 5 rounds, unified rules?
Was this for the poll or just a general question?
No,
okay.
This is for the poll. Reed Drummond or Gianna De Laurentiis? 5 rounds, unified rules, inside a cage, not in a ring, inside a cage.
You have to know. I mean, Ina Garten, I feel like could fuck you up.
Yeah, Ina Garten would win, but I'm talking about 2 people in a similar weight class.
They're not in a similar weight class. Reed Drummond's
canceled.
Got, farming hips.
Fair enough. Stephen Kelleher, did he call someone out? I couldn't tell because the captioning just said speaking in Portuguese. So they figured out that they're speaking Portuguese. So they got that going for them, which is nice. New poll is up. I'm going with Giada. She's cagey.
What?
I'm picking Giada. She's cagey.
I don't know, but I love her. She's my pick in the kitchen. I think Reed Drummond's got it.
I don't know. I think Reed would be too overconfident.
Got those ham hock arms from like.
Yeah, but she's got length.
Milk jugs.
She's got length. Kazmat, yes. The correct answer, according to Joe Blair, is Tony Bourdain with the Asiatic spike. Yes, because he is the boogeyman from Hell's Kitchen. It is. Oh, it's projected. It's not. They didn't actually put the belt on there.
I would assume that belt would be huge.
Where would you put that after? Do you just leave it there?
You throw it into the ocean.
Well, yeah. Trigger D saying, cut the tail off the cow and put it on the plate. That's a choice.
Sushi is for ranchers.
That's the next shirt. And if you want,
isn't that a thing like with people in the military? Like they judge certain people judge like what you did if it was Navy or whatever. So that's what it sounded like to me is like different types of farmers judging other types of farmers.
Mm-hmm. PJ Simpson # Team Parmigiano Reggiano.
Team Spaghetti.
Vertical Filthy lives on a ranch in Arizona. Can we host our freak fights there?
In Arizona? Do you want to deal with the scorpions?
Well, it's on a ranch, so we just build a barn. Do what Mark and Jay Briscoe did, and have house shows in their barn. And shout out Jay Briscoe. You're a pro wrestling fan, and Matt Men is a pro wrestling channel. You know that earlier this week, Jay Briscoe, a.k.a. Jamin Pugh, passed away while driving with his 2 daughters, a victim of a terrible car accident. Jay's family and friends are all in our thoughts. Jay was someone I worked with while I was at Ring of Honor, and couldn't have been kinder, couldn't have been a pro's pro in every sense of the word. So Jay will be very much missed, not only by me, but by millions of wrestling fans across the world. I miss you, Jay. I'm going to drink wine now in your honor. Sorry, it's not whiskey or beer, but
cheers.
I do have a
drink
funny
that with you.
I have a funny Jay Briscoe story. I have a funny Ring of Honor story. It's in Fort Lauderdale, Rock Cena 1.
It's my hometown.
I know. It was at the War Memorial. Charlie Haas sends me out. It's Briscoe. It's the Briscoe.
Chuck E. Cheese, you suck. Oh wait, I'll tell you that after. Go ahead.
It was Haas and Benjamin versus the Briscoes, a big blow-off match, and they wanted beer. Luckily, next to the War Memorial was what I remember to be a Piggly Wiggly. I don't know if it was actually a Piggly Wiggly, but I remember it being a Piggly Wiggly.
What year was this?
2011?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't live there by then because we didn't have those at all.
That's why I'm not sure if it was something else, but this is also over a decade ago, and a lot of things have happened with this brand in that period of time. But I do remember going into the grocery store, running to get the beer. I'm in a full suit. It's Florida in April.
Yep.
So it's already just
98 degrees.
Just both Lachey, it was both Lachey brothers levels hot. So, a Derek Lewis situation for your boy Matt Ryan. And I run there, I grab the beer, I'm on the checkout line, and there's a man in front of me on one of the lines with his hand covered in paper towels and blood.
Yes.
It just was a thing that happened while I'm just dealing with this absurd experience. It wasn't a Publix, Joe Blair. It wasn't a Publix. But because I would have remembered the chicken, because the chicken at Publix is pretty smacking. But I got the beer. and I was heralded for it. I didn't drink at the time, but I really regret not having a beer with those guys. But that was a cool story and a bunch of other fun Jay Briscoe things. Jay was a big influence on me professionally in terms of just him treating everybody like a person and being a fantastic asset in and out of the ring. My thoughts are with his family. My thoughts are with everybody who worked with him at Ring of Honor. And my best to his 2 children who are still recovering from the accident.
I'm
All
so
right,
happy to hear some of the. No, can I add one more thing to it for you?
Yeah, please.
I'm just so happy to see that his daughters are progressing and looks like they're going to be okay. It's going to take a while, but they're going to be okay. And that's all I got.
It's great. Let's take a look at the poll real quick. Try to make things a little less sad. Giada winning the poll right now, 56% to 44%.
Yeah, I don't. She's lanky. I don't agree. She doesn't have much meat on her.
Yeah, she might have the jits. She might know how to. She may know how to. Yeah, she might know how to do jiu-jitsu.
No, I was referencing when one of my first Ring of Honor shows.
Yes. Where
Charlie Haas was there. This very annoying woman to the left of us did not like him.
Yes.
And kept vocalizing as such, to where she just kept screaming, "Chuck E. Cheese, you suck!" I guess that was her nickname for Charlie Haas, was Chuck E. Cheese. But that exact cadence I will never forget.
That's a good one.
Chuck E. Cheese, you suck! Every time. For 40 minutes. The entire match.
That would
Ring of Honor matches, on average, were 50 minutes.
Oh, come on. Only the mains.
Not that I remember. Not that I remember.
All right, it's time for the co-main event. Deiveson Figueiredo versus Brandon Moreno. Who's winning the fucking strap? We're going to find that out in just a few moments as they make their walk to the ring. Stanley Franklin with line of the night. Now back to Trigger's sister. Yes, we will be Dickthon, hashtag Dickthon. Let Andrew Zarian at Andrew Zarian know that you are preparing for Dickthon, where we will be raising money for those with BDE and those who need lightly used tents or hammocks to create underpants for them.
Lord help us.
Moreno making his walk to the octagon, and there is the 8K camera that isn't. There we go. Snap zoom that focus, baby boy. Oh, the uncanny valley of technology.
I hate it.
Yeah,
it looks like a video. We don't have to keep improving things. It's fine. It looks like a video game. It looks weird.
I know. I hate it and like it all at the same time.
Don't like it.
The quadrology is nigh. Steph, you're the resident MMA expert on the show.
Clearly.
People don't know that, actually.
Everybody knows. Yeah, I keep it under my hat.
Yeah. Who do you think?
I don't want to brag.
Who do you think is going to win?
Let's see. So, so the current champion.
Yes.
And then the interim flyweight. Well, how do you pronounce the flyweight champion's name? I don't want to.
Deiveson Figueiredo.
I don't want to be disrespectful. He has an interesting way of spelling his name, so he might have a chip on his shoulder about thinking how he's unique and special, and he doesn't have to work as hard. So I think it's going to be Brandon Moreno.
Fair play.
You gotta
science.
You gotta keep science. You gotta keep your ego in check when you enter into this ring.
It's a cage.
Octagon cage.
Yeah, cage.
This space.
The structure.
This area. With your big dick, you have to be careful with that ego. That'll get you.
Joey.
That should add to the tail of the tape.
Yes, it should.
How big is your ego?
Conor McGregor's wouldn't fit the screen. Stephen Kelleher picking Moreno by submission, and Steven Seagal by bad movie. Joey, I smoke your mom's box. Those words have heavy weight here, sir.
We can't say that.
Can't say that. We
can't say that yet.
Yeah. We only say that when we get fired. Or when someone's making sure 2 people are having sex on Andrew's couch. As is tradition.
Do we want to... what was that comedian's name?
Paul Mercurio?
Yeah, do we want to send Paul Mercurio to Andrew Zarian's house and have a couple of sex there?
Linger longer. Joey says, girl eyes beautiful. I believe he's saying that you're attractive, Steph. I'm not sure.
Girl Eye. That'd be my fighter name. I'm Girl Eye.
Joe Blair asking, will Dickthon have a Bill Hicks LA Riots replay? No, there's just the hooligans will pop up and bop people on the head. Young Ed saying, watch Moreno's boxing. Yeah, I think the striking is going to be a big plus for Moreno here in terms of the keep away game. It's what made things close. And also shout out to everybody who I saw at FezCon. That was a lot of fun.
Well, not everybody. Saw everybody you interacted with.
Yes, everybody I interacted with. I got to see a couple of people I used to work with who were interns there. Shout out to Alex and her husband. She is awesome. Her husband's awesome. And shout out to the Fishmans. Shout out to Big A, Andrew, Eastside Dave, Chris Vega, and Chris Stanley, the sweetest of beans. And got to cry and listen to Lou Reed, which was an interesting experience. Deiveson Figueiredo getting a hero's welcome in Rio as we get ready for our main event, Vertical 50, predicting Moreno by decision. Let us know your thoughts on the co-main event in the chat or on Twitter. Stanley Franklin,
Great cash, homie.
You're a sweetie.
Great cash,
Super
homie.
sweetie, donating $10 to the cause.
Great cash, homie.
And you can do the same by clicking the $sign or going to patreon.com/Dan A. White. That's patreon.com/Dan A. White. If you don't know, now you know. My name is Matt Ryan. I'm joined by Stephanie Sotilli and MG Geek.
Yo.
Charlene, yes, Ron and Gail were there. I actually got to say hello to Ron very briefly. Every 5 years or so, I end up saying hello to Ron Bennington in some situations. Can we say indeed to bust in on the people having sex on Andrew's couch? Possibly. If Moreno wins, I drink Trigger. I feel like if anybody wins, you drink so far this evening, because you've okey-doked yourself into varieties of whiskeys, my friend. So just be okay. PJ Simpson, Figgy by home cooking at plus 250. Interesting. It's hard. I know I get a rap from fans of this show or viewers of this show. They may not be fans, but I'm hopefully not being considered a fence sitter because I love both of these fighters. And we've seen 3 fights, but I can't pick a fucking winner. Moreno, his win against Kai Kara-France, being able to break that chain, that was big for me. Jesus, Joey, you may want to get off of YouTube, bro, if that stuff's actually happening to you. May not. If you have something going on there, lay low and keep yourself safe. If that is actually happening. Taking a look here, the odds history, Figueiredo was the favorite in the first 2 fights and has been the underdog heading into his win over Moreno at UFC 270. And tonight, he is a plus 110 underdog. Moreno is the minus 130 favorite, as opposed to the last fight where Moreno is the minus 180 favorite and Figueiredo was the plus 155 underdog. In that first fight, it didn't matter. It was a draw. That second fight, if you've bet on the underdog since fight 2, you've won. So for me, the underdog doesn't seem like a bad bet here. Charlene, we spoke about it earlier. I can't speak any further.
Great cash, homie.
Stephen Kelleher,
Great cash, homie.
donating $5 to the cause, 209
Great cash, homie.
all day. Let's take a look at the tail of the tape. Figueiredo 35, Moreno 29. Slight height advantage for Moreno, 5'7" to 5'5", both at 125 pounds. 68-inch reach for Figueiredo, 70 for Moreno. And this one is going to be banana pants. I honestly think this should be the real, and no knock on Jahmal or Glover, but this should be closing the show. This should actually be the closer for the fight, for the night. And they show this, the judges. The one thing of the many things that bother me about UFC's production is that they will show the judges for the fights in -7 seconds. It'll be on the screen for more than enough time for me to get half of a name out and then just go completely away. So whoever's producing and directing these UFC fights, feel like you're fucking with me. Or you're doing it just to make sure that the judges don't end up getting pieced up by fans here. Shout out to Sean Bowser watching us on his television. Oh my God, you're watching me on your TV. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I am not pretty enough to be on your actual television. Like, you're just punishing yourself. But I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate everybody watching. We got 69 people watching us right now. But spread the word on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, MySpace. Is that still a thing? Fuck. I work in social media. I should know these things.
No, LiveJournal still is, though. Shockingly.
DeviantArt. What was that thing on
Newgrounds.com? I wish it would come back.
Oh, tout. We could tout it.
Tout. Yes.
We could tout. We could do touts. We could do Vine. Does Vine come back?
Would you like to Periscope?
Yeah, let's Periscope. We did Periscope these shows in the early days, but it was through Twitter Live. Raiden Thacker joining us. What did I miss? You missed a lot, buddy. You missed Gilbert Burns getting a sub. You saw Lauren Murphy, not a sandwich or a bottom, but a submission. But we saw Lauren Murphy get completely pieced up and turned into Eric Stoltz. And we've witnessed a lot of stoppages tonight. Only one fight on the main card going the distance. The one fight that I thought shouldn't have gone the distance. That fight should have been stopped. But 70-inch HD mat. Ugh. Brendan will be joining us next month. As mentioned earlier, he had a professional obligation for us tonight. Joe Blair.
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash.
Donating $4.99 to the cause. Rock the Bell House tomorrow in Brooklyn. Go to tinyurl.com/rockthebellhouse. And here we go with round number 1. The fourth fight, the quadrilogy. Takedown by Moreno and immediately caught potentially in a guillotine by Figueiredo. He's got the arm locked around the head, but does he have it slipped underneath the jaw? Moreno keeping pat, staying where he is. Early on in this fight, and it might be a Kobayashi Maru situation for Brandon Moreno. Moreno got the takedown, but now has his head completely vice gripped by Deiveson Figueiredo. Figueiredo looking to win this fight here, looking to win this series. It's 1-1-1 across the board. Will we see another draw, or will we see Figueiredo be undisputed champion? We have 25 minutes, now 24 minutes and change left to figure this out. Holding on to the neck is Figueiredo. Moreno scrambles and finds a way up, and both men back up to a vertical base. Great opportunity and great athleticism by Moreno. Both men standing now. Figueiredo trying to avoid the pressure by the Tijuana fighter. Both men standing. Leg kick by Moreno. Keeping his hands up. See that boxing style coming in there. Figueiredo throwing a leg kick. Does not land. More of a feint than anything. Shadow boxing by Moreno. Just trying to show his reach. Overhand right landed, but not emphatically. We go back and forth here. Left hand thrown. Kick to the body, overhand right missed by Moreno. Both men standing in the center of the octagon, charging in with Moreno with a kick to the body, missed. Figueiredo doing a great job of avoiding, missed. A couple of times in Moreno, but he got an overhand right and a left to the body on that last exchange, pushing Figueiredo closer and closer to the fence. 2:28 left to go in the round. Figueiredo trying to figure out Moreno. Dancing around are both fighters. Uppercut missed by Figueiredo. Moreno trying to throw wildly to get out of that situation. Bicycle kick by Figueiredo. That lands in the midsection. Left-right combination by Moreno and a right to the rib cage by Figueiredo. Putting a period on that situation. Takedown attempt again by Moreno. Double under. Oh, and an elbow by Moreno. Gets out of that. Minute 40 left to go in the round. Left hand landed by Moreno. Minute 25 left to go. Back near the fence is Moreno. Kick to the legs by Figueiredo. Minute 15, left to go. The eyesight's going on me. Kick to the leg, and then Figueiredo going for the takedown. Drags Moreno to the fence. Figueiredo and Moreno trying to fight out of it. Moreno back to a vertical base. Downstairs, upstairs combination. Left to the body, right to the head by Moreno. Under a minute now in round number 1. Without James Krause, it will be interesting to see how Moreno responds deeper into these rounds because of him basically dragooning himself into a Shoeless Joe situation. Did Krause. Takedown by Moreno. Moreno now trying to posture up Figueiredo, trying to climb up Moreno to get back to a standing position. Almost a sharpshooter knee bar attempt by Figueiredo. Cannot get it fully locked in. 27 seconds now. Knee bar attempt. Trying to roll out of it is Moreno in a variation of a single leg figure 4. Pulling in that knee bar. Moreno trying to find a way out of it. Can he hold on for 15 seconds or will he tap out? Can Figueiredo pull the submission? Can he pop the knee out? Can he retain the title? Kick to the head. And 5 seconds left to go in the round. Little consternation and conversation in this dancery, and we'll go to round number 2. Great round by both fighters. If you're looking at it from aggressiveness, I would give it a 10-9 to Figueiredo. Let us know your thoughts if you're just listening or if you are watching along with us. Obviously, watching it legally wherever you can pick up UFC pay-per-views. In between rounds here, I'm Matt Ryan. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight on the Matt Men YouTube channel. You can watch Matt Men every single week with Andrew Zarian and Rich Thambolian. Subscribe to the channel for more information. And that kick on the ground, Moreno was looking at the official. That should be illegal. That is an illegal move, but the referee doesn't do anything to it. There's like 5 seconds left in the fight. Tried to kick him in the collarbone and accidentally kicked him in the head. You can't kick a ground opponent in the head. So, a little consternation, a little legality, but we're in round number 2. Moreno putting that boxing to work and putting the pressure on, but Figueiredo is the one getting the former champion, the current interim champions, back closer and closer to the fence. Steps in, Figueiredo catches the leg, and now Moreno on his back. Figueiredo trying to pull him in and get back up, but now Figueiredo in control. Justin Gaethje says 1-0 Moreno. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but a lot of people are picking 10-9 Moreno. I would have given it to Figueiredo, but those takedowns do come into play, but I would see Figueiredo as the more aggressive fighter. Now, that kick wasn't good, PJ, but the ref didn't call him on it. Moreno lands a left hand. Both men back to a standing base. 3:51 left to go in the round. Leg kick by Figueiredo. Moreno looking a little tired here. Uppercut, overhand right, and another uppercut. A little pitter-patter by Moreno, not landing. Another takedown attempt by Moreno. Fading out of it was Figueiredo, who avoided a knee as well. Throws a left is Figueiredo. With the exception of the first fight, the betting underdog has won the last 3 fights. Last two fights, pardon me. Both men standing in the center of the octagon. 3:11 left to go. Kick to the leg by Moreno. Both trying to find pace. Ooh, overhand right by Moreno. Under 3 minutes now. Ooh, and an uppercut after eating a couple of jabs. Figueiredo landed a shot in the pocket. Moreno's been landing more and being able to get things going, but those counter strikes by Figueiredo may prove very helpful the deeper this fight goes, because remember, this goes to the judges. We're in Rio. So take that for what it's worth. Figueiredo stops a head kick attempt. Moreno stops a Figueiredo head kick attempt and rolls him back. And now Figueiredo near the fence. Moreno with the takedown. Scramble, Figueiredo ends up on top. And now Moreno pulls the leg. And now Figueiredo catches him in a guillotine. Drops him down as Moreno. But Figueiredo's still holding on to the guillotine. Trying to get the pressure. Trying to lock it in. Trying to cinch it in. Trying to win this trilogy. Win this quadrilogy between these two great fighters. Will he be able to pull it off and retain the featherweight title? Can Moreno power his neck out? Can he push himself and he gets out of the submission? And now he lays on top of Deiveson Figueiredo. Trying to posture up is Moreno. Figueiredo holding on to him for dear life. Baby Bjorning the shit out of Brendan Moreno. 91 seconds left to go in the round. The weight cut will come into play here, as said by Trigger D in the chat. Time winding down. Minute 16 left to go in the second of 5 rounds for the UFC Flyweight Championship. I'm Matt Ryan. Other side of the glass is Stephanie Sotilli, Oliver the Fat Baby, and the Professor, and the man in my ear and your ear occasionally. You know him, you love him, he's MG Geek. You can follow me on Twitter at Matt Ryan Yells. You can follow Matt Men Podcast on all social media by searching Matt Men, or in the description below. You know, just do a little bit of reading. 45 seconds left to go, still scrambling on the ground. This is Moreno's round to lose. 39 seconds left to go. Moreno on top, Figueiredo trying to push off the hip with his right foot. 26 seconds now. Deeper this fight goes, the gas tanks, those scrambles, these back and forths are going to be the defining factor by devastating forearm completely missed by Moreno. 7 seconds left to go in the round now. And we will be going to round number 3. Elbows from the bottom, pardon me, by Figueiredo. And we will go to round number 2. It could be 1-1 or it could be 2-0, but Moreno clearly won that round. Shout out to all 80 sweeties joining us in the chat, joining us across the Matt Men Entertainment Network right here on the Matt Men YouTube channel. If you've not subscribed already, what the fuck are you doing? Subscribe to us now. Hit the like button, ring the notification bell. When you ring the notification bell, you know when we go live, not only with this show, but with Matt Men twice a week and other great podcasts and programming, like Historically Speaking, hosted by yours truly, Matt Ryan. New episode coming soon as we wrap up on how Jim Crockett Promotions died and what caused the death of Jim Crockett Promotions. And if you want more content like that,
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
you can donate to the super chat. Joey's got goat nipples. Good for him. Or you can go to patreon.com/Dan A. White.
Straight cash, homie.
Patreon.com/Dan A. White. And I agree with Trigger D. This should have been a main event. This should have been the main event fight. But the fuck do I know? It's not like I matchmake for a living. Excuse me. It's round number 3. Circling around here. Figueiredo, the aggressor in the early goings of this round. A couple of lefts and then a right to the body. Missing with the left, but landing a left of his own was Figueiredo. What we've come to expect from both of these great fighters. An insane level of competition, an insane level of will, an insane level of skill. As we count down here, 4:21 left to go in round number 3 of 5 for the UFC Flyweight title. Missing the low kick, the leg kick was Figueiredo. Moreno completely Philly shelling it now. Looking like Floyd Mayweather in the Pacquiao fight. Figueiredo pacing around still, trying to find an opening. Trying to use those reserve tanks as best he can over the final 15 or 14 and change. Overhand right and overhand left missed terribly by Moreno. He went for some big swings and completely ate it. Looked like he was going to stumble over for half a second. 3:35 left to go. Left, right, landed. Caught him in the eye. Figueiredo calling for an eye poke. He falls down and immediately wraps up Moreno, who's on top of him, in the Mormon position. .316, what left to go in the round? Still in the Mormon position. Still in the Utah. The Romney. The Joe Smith sex time. The Mormon baby maker. I can keep going. 3 minutes left to go in the round. Moreno trying to posture up. Presses off the shoulder of Figueiredo. Now just trying to find any way to get back up and posture and create some space between him and Figueiredo. Moreno being climbed up and Figueiredo holding, just wrapping the legs and arms around the interim champion. Figueiredo is left, his right eye looks like it got hit hard. I don't know if it was a punch or a poke, but there is some swelling, possibly a hematoma near the eye. 2:23 left to go in the round. Moreno trying to create any distance here as Figueiredo's trying to squeeze around the body. Left hand by Moreno. Moreno going unleashed. Up kick by Figueiredo trying to scramble around. Moreno once again wraps up the interim champion. Figueiredo with the forearm. Trying to push off the hips is Figueiredo. Moreno continuing to dictate the pace. BJ Simpson is right. Figueiredo looking like a cyclops after that punch. Posh trying to get back up to a vertical base. Or either of these fighters. Figueiredo just trying to keep Moreno from punching him about the face again. Holding the arms in place. Continuing to be in the Mormon. Posturing up is Moreno. And hits... And now just throwing lefts and rights. A bottom kicks from the bottom by Figueiredo. Clip Moreno and send him back down on top of Figueiredo. Neither of these guys will quit. Neither of these guys will yield to the other fighter. It's Moreno's fight to lose. Figueiredo seems to know that, and he is trying everything he can to stay in this fight. Devastating shots from both fighters as Figueiredo's still on his back. Under a minute now left to go in round number 3. More devastating than the Luther Campbell position so far in this fight. Moreno postures back up but dragged back down by the hips by Figueiredo. And they're showing the replay of the punch. It looked like a clean punch that might have been an accidental eye poke. But that eye is and there's just a welt. That eye is closed, and there is blood coming underneath that eye. That is not looking good. Moreno, in terms of ground control time, in this round has been controlling for over 3 minutes. 2 minutes and 59 seconds, over 2:50 in the second round, over 98 seconds in the first. And now into the north-south position is Moreno, now into a variation of side control. 5 seconds left to go in the round. It's academic. That round was won by Brandon Moreno, and I would not be surprised if the doctors are going to look at that eye of Deiveson Figueiredo. We'll take a look. We'll see in the replay again here. Just an overhand left. It's the side of the hand that caught him. So it could have been either of the knuckles and that glove, because remember, those gloves are kind of the shits. It wasn't an eye poke, but he caught him with the thumb, and just coming in with that impact might have crushed the orbital bone. Could have broke the eye socket. of Deiveson Figueiredo. And now they're just putting pressure on it using that ice pack. They use the Q-tips on the nose. If Figueiredo, as Tricky D said, if he blows his nose or releases any of that sinus pressure, he is in a lot of trouble. You can see it is bad. It ain't good. And now the doctor forcing his way into the corner. Now that was the corner man. As Herb Dean and the doctor will step in. Figueiredo talking with the doctor, checking his eyesight. Tricky with an excellent point. The seams on the gloves can also open up your eye. They can create a laceration because if you get caught and it drags, those seams can get in. That's it. It's over. Deiveson Figueiredo. The eye, that punch to the eye has cost him the UFC Flyweight title, and Brandon Moreno, for the second time, will be the undisputed UFC Flyweight champion. Referee stoppage will be a TKO, and Figueiredo will fall to 21-3-1. And not the way you want to lose a fight. Not the way.
Well, that's not going to go over well.
Yeah, this is not going to go well with that Brazilian audience. And does this create the question of a fifth fight? Do you fight for a fifth time? Because
yeah, it does.
Moreno got the win, but it wasn't as if this fight went another 5 minutes, Figueiredo would have lost. He would have lost on the scorecards, or he would have lost by stoppage. But now this creates more questions. And Bill Elder saying Figgy should just go up. I agree. But name another fight in the flyweight division that would draw as much interest. Like, that's the shitty thing. That's the shitty thing is that, like, what other fights in the flyweight division would you want to watch aside from these two dudes just beating the tar out of one another? This might be the one of the more important feuds in UFC history and one of the best feuds in UFC history.
Weren't there thoughts of contracting this division a couple years ago?
Moreno and Figueiredo saved this division. Straight up, they saved this division.
So you know what? Run it back one more time. Let somebody else catch up. If they don't, then you can rethink that possibility. But let these guys just keep it going.
Just keep the party going. Just keep it moving. Let's just keep it moving. Moreno is done with Figgy, according to Young Ed. Sean Bowser saying there's not... Yeah, outside of Kai Kara France and a rematch with that's an even... I don't even think that would be what we would want. But it was a doctor's recommendation at the end of the round. Herb Dean has called an end to the fight. Winner by TKO, Brandon Moreno. And one of the first, if not the first, Mexican champion in UFC history. Joey's saying BJ Penn would rock that division. My man, he can't win in a parking lot, let alone inside the octagon. So, no.
See, I called that one.
You did.
I did. I was correct.
Yes. Cody Garbrandt, Jens Pulver. Joey's just pulling random names out of a hat. Has he got like UFC on the Dreamcast open and just picking random ass names from different time periods? Because I feel like that would be a thing that someone would do. But we're heading into our main event that shouldn't have been the main event, and I think everybody agrees.
So this was the result of that draw, right? From the last one?
First fight was a draw. Moreno won the second one. Deiveson won the third one. Figueiredo got hurt. Moreno beat Kai Kara France. This was the fourth fight.
No,
Moreno now trails Demetrius Johnson, Jojo Benavidez, and Figueiredo in most wins in flyweight history.
Okay, I was actually thinking about the main event tonight when you said the main event.
Yes. This is because of Yuri Prochaska completely tearing his shoulder out. And then the last show where we had a draw in the main event.
where you and I were sleeping toward the end.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I think at one point me and Steph were wrapping Christmas
checked out
presents.
because it was nothing.
I think the technical term is what it's as boring as flies fucking.
Yeah,
that would have been the technical term. Not this fight. You're just joining us. Brandon Moreno has won back the UFC Flyweight title, breaking the eye of Deiveson Figueiredo and becoming the two-time champion of the Flyweight division. And Trigger saying best of 7, only if there's an Escalera de la Muerte to end it. The UFC's first ever ladder match. Stanley Franklin sending Matt a Red Bull. I don't need a Red Bull. I'm good to go. I just know that I have to get up in about 7 hours. So I'm really hoping that this next fight happens real fucking quick. So we can get through this fight and I can go to sleep.
I can tell you, Matt is not our version, the Matt Men version of Al Michaels. That's all I can tell you.
Well, Al Michaels is a fucking legend, so I would never shit talk Al Michaels.
Well, I'm just talking about last weekend's
yeah.
NFL performance. That's all.
Vertical 50, Matt is a Red Bull. Fair.
Hey.
Better to be a bull than the alternative, I would assume. Right? Moving on. Raiden Thacker Skywalker match. You can't... Okay. What gimmick match would easily translate to MMA and you can't say cage match? Because... Oh, wow, Figueiredo's taking the glove. Oh, he's moving up. He's moving up. This is his last fight at that weight. Ironman match in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. I know vertical. I'm just busting balls. But Figueiredo not retiring. Try to get some comment about... Oh, that shot to the head was just fucked. That had to suck. Trying to get the translation here. Once we get the translation of Figueiredo's comments, we'll let you know. Hair versus hair. That's actually a good one. I know of a rap battle that's actually being decided. There's a hair versus hair rap battle from our buddies over at iBattle. Shout out to Lex Luthor, who's going to be in the house tomorrow at Catalyst Wrestling Rock the Bell House. You can get your tickets at tinyurl.com/Rock the Bell House or catalystwrestling.com. Trigger barbed wire instead of ropes. So a no rope barbed wire mixed martial arts fight. I don't know if a state athletic commission would allow that. I don't know. It was Brandon's night. I thought it was an eye poke, but there's not much I can say. Figueiredo said, "I hope I don't have any lasting problems with my eyes." That would be a concern.
You know what match would conduce itself to MMA?
What?
A dog collar match.
Ooh, a dog collar fight would be interesting.
Because they're close together. They can use the chain. But MMA moves. It's mostly. Yeah, you'd have to set some rules, but
yeah, choking and the punching with the chain. Moreno being led to the back, garbage being strewn down upon him. They are just throwing fucking beer bottles and everything at him. He is getting the Rio goodbye. And I would have someone test his food and water at the hotel. Moreno, if he got a knockout, plus 550. Jesus. So you bet $100, you would have won $550 on that one. Alan loves MMA. Definitely not a scaffold match. A Skywalker's match would be a terrible idea for MMA. You go for one takedown and you go, whoopsie. It's fucking, you fall down the warp hole in Super Mario in real life. Stephen Kelleher said he's going to move up and let someone even bigger beat his ass. Jesus, Stephen, you just don't like Deiveson Figueiredo. Well, vertical, the traditional cage match, the non-WWE cage match is essentially an MMA fight. Oh, car or phone booth MMA. Yeah, I don't know if you guys have seen this, Steph. I don't know if you've seen it. There's MMA fights now that take place in phone booths and in cars. Guess where they come from? Guess what country?
In a phone booth?
In a phone booth. In a phone box, yes.
Australia.
No.
I don't know.
Romania.
Got it. Is it a regulation phone booth, or have they made it bigger?
Regulation.
Okay. Sure. What else are we going to do with them?
That's fair. Ooh, Trigger D with the ideal that they should settle this like men in a Waffle House. I don't hate that.
That
idea.
is where the cream rises to the top inside of Waffle House.
I think that's where UFC 300 is going to take place. A Waffle House in Huntsville, Alabama. That feels like that makes the most sense to me. And they're promoting the new M. Night Shyamalan movie featuring Batista. Okay, that's a sentence I never thought I'd say in my life.
This actually looks very creepy.
Well, yeah, it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie, so we know it's going to be creepy and it's going to suck. So, Second Class Citizen, bunch of 50... Hold on.
Disappoint, right?
Yes.
Mm.
Second Class Citizen, bunch of filthy animals, bow wow wow, yippee yo, yippee yay, orale, all day, every day. Does that mean I'm Tigress, Rey Mysterio with the devil horns? Am I Kidman? I don't mind being Kidman. Let's take a look at the same game parlay. Plus 140 for Teixeira on the money line, 250 to win by submission, plus 100 for 40 plus significant strikes from Jamahal Hill. That's an interesting one. Stanley Frankel, Waffle House until that cop shows and it's on. Which cop? The one that had the Chattanooga Choo Choo brought upon them. Shouldn't be fired for that unless they did it during work hours. If you do it during work, kind of deserve to get fired. But it's in your off hours. What you do with several of your coworkers without your husband knowing is your own business. Stephen Kelleher, somewhere at Small Peeps and Big Phone Booths. Big Phone Booth would be a cool hip-hop name, I think. Who wouldn't want to hang out with a guy named Big Phone Booth? I'm little punchy.
We're almost there.
2 out of 3 falls match is actually a good one from Vertical 50. I like that idea.
I know. Why don't they do a power slap? Well, you know what? Never mind. I was just thinking the other day.
We need to die.
We don't have enough outlets for more concussions.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like there should be more.
There shouldn't be. Please, no more.
Sarcasm.
I know.
Sarcasm, everybody.
I know it is sarcasm, but I have to overtly say that as someone who works in MMA and is a wrestling promoter. God forbid the NISAC catch this.
Who would actually say that, like, earnestly?
I don't know.
We need more opportunities for concussions.
Well, there's some assholes out there.
Let's take a poll. If you... Do you think there's not enough concussions today?
I will throw you out a window.
Because then they're just going to all vote yes to be assholes.
Let's talk about Jon Jones coming back. UFC 285 in Las Vegas. It's interesting. Him and Cyril Gane's going to be a fun fight. It's March, yeah. March 4th. Day before Catalyst Wrestling's anniversary show. Fucking, I know how to pick dates. God almighty. But Trigger D saying,
on that same schedule.
Figgy and Moreno joined the heavyweight division and kicked Jon Jones' ass 2 versus 1. Handicap MMA is a thing I saw. The owner of a promotion fought 2 of his fighters at once. I don't know the backstory, but I feel like everybody here saw it. Don't use that hashtag, Trig. Come on, buddy. Come on, you're better than that. You're better than that. Don't do that. Trigger D saying extra vines. I'm Matt Ryan with my litany of beverages and noodles. On the other side of the metaphorical glass is Stephanie Sotilli. Our producer tonight is MG Geek. Also joining us, the Professor and Olive the Fat Baby. You can follow me on Twitter at Matt Ryan Yells. Sean Bowser, I think John might shock the world. How? By showing up? By passing the USADA test? Because he could beat Cyril Gane. John Jones is one of the greatest mixed martial artists of all time. Him winning against...
That's the test, right? Is whether or not he can stay clean and get through a whole process and a fight cycle, and no one finds anything wrong with him, and he wins the title. Yeah. And then he has another fight, and then he wins and he retains. Then we can look at him in a better way, right?
Well, I think you're always going to look. I think John Jones is like the anti-Ricky Williams. Ricky Williams took a stand and left millions of dollars on the table for his mental health and for his advocacy of cannabis. John Jones played GTA in real life too many times and loved cocaine and got caught by USADA. Both of them led to long layoffs, protracted contract disputes, and unfavorable situations with different fan bases. He is Bizarro World John Jones, fucking Ricky Williams.
Ricky Williams.
Yeah.
Sorry to correct you.
No. You were right to correct me because I fucked up my own analogy because it is 12:26 in the morning. But we're so glad to be with you. I'm really excited for this fight. I'm really excited for a full year of UFC cards here on Mat Men. We're so glad you guys are joining us. Every fight this year, we're building this audience back, and the only way we could do so without massive corporate power is by your help.
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
Because, they just laid off a bunch of my friends, so that's good. That's good. The future of MMA lies here on Mat Men. The future of MMA live streaming here on Mat Men with us, Matt Ryan, Brendan Sokler, Stephanie Sotili, MG Geek, all brought to you by Andrew Zarian and his benevolent eyebrows. So like, comment, subscribe, donate some money to the Super Chat.
Straight cash, homie.
Or support us via Patreon. Support us via Patreon, patreon.com/Dan A. White. That's patreon.com/Dan A. White. Trigger D, the UFC traded a guy that hits like a Ford Escort for the guy that hits escorts with Fords. Badoom bish. Ladies and gentlemen, Kevin Eubanks and the Tonight Show Band. Second class citizen says John Jones will be heavyweight champ. Not heavyweight. Heavyweight. Stephen Kelleher, perfect point. PED 6 months, THC 2 years. What the fuck are we doing as a society? Not to get on a high horse, literally or metaphorically, in this situation. Diaz, 135, yeah. Gone, Jeremiah Aradnis, sorry, I wanted to get your last name right. Gone's going to walk up to Jones and say, let's wrestle. Jones gonna try to piece that boy up. And here we see Jamahal Hill about to make his walk into the octagon for our main event. Walking in to Rio de Janeiro against a returning hero in Glover Teixeira. Can Teixeira regain the title he lost to Yuri Prochaska? Or will Jamahal Hill finally win a title? Second longest active UFC knockout streak with 3. Most knockouts since 2022 in the light heavyweight division with 4. Largest significant strike differential among any UFC heavyweight, light heavyweight, 2.4 significant strikes per minute. Just real, and Trigger D, just 1, 3, and 5 years for Diaz. PJ Simpson calling him the Motor City Chump. Like the Motor City Machine Guns, or is that just a portmanteau for young Jamal?
Straight cash, homie.
2-time Performance of the Night winner against Jimmy Crute and Johnny Walker. Fight of the night 1 time against Thiago Santos. Last won his last 3 over Santos, Jimmy Walker, and Jimmy Crute, all by knockout or TKO. His last and only losses to Paul Craig in 2021. He's knocked out 7, decisioned 4. Now let's talk about Glover Teixeira. 1-time knockout of the night, 1-time submission of the night, 3 times fight of the night. Oven St. Preux, Alexander Gustafsson, and Jiří Procházka. He won the light heavyweight title, lost the light heavyweight title, Jiří Procházka at UFC 275. Was supposed to fight Procházka last month, but he got injured in training. So Teixeira took the powder for that fight. Different fight happened. Did not end with a champion. So we are here. Shout out to Raiden Thacker.
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie. Straight cash.
Donating $4.99 to the cause. Thank you so much, Raiden, for
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
donating to us here on the Super Chat. I'm Matt Ryan. It is past midnight here. Saturday has turned into Sunday. Happy Rock the Bell House Day. And Glover Teixeira making the walk to the octagon. He is getting ready to fight for the 42nd time in his career. 33-8 walking into tonight. Big opportunity for him to win back his title in front of his fellow Brazilians. He makes that slow walk. He lifts his arms up and jogs to the octagon, ensconced by UFC security who look like a compendium of independent wrestling veterans from different parts of the country of the United States. Trigger D says Jones is going to get shogunned. Young Ed said, I might not sleep then. PJ Simpson.
Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie. Straight cash, homie.
Donating $10 to the cause. Glover by a round 3 sub is plus 1,800. Some pretty solid advice. Glover Teixeira plus 1,800 by a 3rd round submission is plus 1,800. Kind of want to take a flyer on that, not going to lie. It's not the worst idea in the world, but excuse me for coughing. Sean Bowser saying Hill has sneaky power. He needs to put him out. That's going to be a rough road to hoe. You know, Teixeira's been knocked out. He's been knocked out 3 times in his career. Could it be a 4th? One of the most impressive resumes in mixed martial arts history from Glover Teixeira. Won the title on the wrong side of 35. Glover will get to him eventually, said Sean Bowser. Trigger D said to young Ed, I'm fucked, especially if Glovebert wins. Now, is Glovebert Teixeira just like the hamburger helper glove on a head, on a body, on like Glover Teixeira's body? I'm trying to delineate how much that is. 4th round sub at plus 2,800. Jesus. Can't hate those odds, to be honest. But Stephen Kelleher saying, not sure about this one. Yeah, this one's a hard one to pick. I like both of these guys' odds. But Trigger T said Murphy's going to wake up looking like Drop Dead Fred. Fuck, that's a reference. Teixeira, 43, Hall, 31. Teixeira is 7-1, 7 finishes when fighting in Rio de Janeiro. That is a fucking interesting stat. Height and reach advantage go to Jamahal Hill. Hill 79-inch reach and not much taller, but taller than Teixeira. Glover looking like if Tito Ortiz and Fedor did the fusion dance with a little bit of Brezhnev's eyebrows. We are in Rio. Well, we're not in Rio, but the judges, Fabio Alves, Derek Cleary, and some other fucking guy. Mark Goddard, your referee. I told you, they fucking have it up there for a fraction of a fucking second. As soon as I go to say the 3rd name, it absconds itself, and I can't go back because I don't want to miss the fight.
I wonder why if UFC does not return your phone calls. Some other fucking guy.
Goddamn jabronis. Well, I got a job now, so I don't need their money. Need your money, though.
Please
Patreon.com.
Yeah,
White.
don't put that into the universe. You're very lucky to have a job.
I'm very lucky and very happy to have work.
Everybody's starving.
I wasn't being ungrateful. Fuck. And yes, Trigger D, Brezhnev did have toupees for eyebrows. I'm glad I can make a Leonid Brezhnev joke on this show and somebody gets it. What I love about this audience is that at least somebody gets my stupid fucking jokes. And it may not be combat culture, but a lot of the same, a lot of their people are here, and that's what matters. Jamahal Hill being introduced now, and we'll build this motherfucker out too. If you know anybody of our long times that you know them somehow, let them know that we're back. Let them know we're here. Trigger D saying, I can see Hill getting the knockout like Gustafsson did. The way this card's broken out tonight and the way that Figueiredo lost, I honestly am not putting anything to chance. I think there's a lot of things that could happen. There's a lot of things that will happen. I honestly don't believe... Oh, they projected Bruce Buffer onto the Jesus statue too. Cool. That is a thing that happened. Why? I don't know. But it is main event time here. UFC 283. Matt Ryan, joined by Stephanie Sotili, MG Geek, Olive the Fat Baby, and the Professor. Shout out to everybody watching. Trigger D, a man of many hats.
So if Hill wins, Grand Rapids is going to be like trying to tell themselves they're the fight capital of the world.
Well, because
they'll have him and they'll have Mayweather.
And Clarissa Shields over in Flint, so Michigan making an argument.
Yeah, but
fight capital of the Midwest.
Fair.
My background isn't Raiden. The background isn't bright. It's just a white balance issue that neither of us can control, which is a weird thing. But it's a work in progress because we have white walls now. We took the backdrop down, and it's round number 1. Teixeira controlling the center of the octagon. Trying to battle against it now. Teixeira locking up Hill. Now just dragging him across the cage. Hill trying to pop out. Needed a body, needed a head by Hill. Muay Thai clinch, needed a head by Hill. Michigan did have Tommy Hearns. I'm going to listen to Legendary Nights before I fall asleep tonight.
Yes, I forgot that one.
How do you forget about Tommy Hearns?
That's a long time ago. Well, we have Joe Louis, too. So we go way back.
Leading with that left hand is Hill. For almost a minute gone by here. Round 1. Teixeira again trying to go for the takedown. Knees by Hill. Playing keep away is Hill. Low kick. High kick by Hill. Trying to circle around as the Michigan native. Throws an overhand right. Does not land. Teixeira steps in. Misses with a right to the body. Barely connects with a left to the head. 5-round fight for the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. Pressed up against the fence. Rolls out of it. Both men back to the center of the octagon. Low kick. Another kick to the body by Hill. Checked by Teixeira. Missing with the overhand right was Teixeira. Kick to the body by Hill. 3 minutes remain in round number 1. Teixeira steps in. Eats a right hand from Hill. Bounces back and keeps moving. Teixeira shooting a takedown again. Hill presses him away. Right-left combination. Hill now leading with that left. Little jab, distance jabs. Straight left thrown by the former champion. 2:36 left to go in round 1. Uppercut, then 3 straight shots. Another one from Jamahal Hill. Overhand right thrown by Teixeira. Both men back into the center of the octagon. Trying to put pressure is Glover Teixeira. Right hand lands under the face. Kick to the body. Hill just trying to use field goal kicks to get himself some positioning. 2 minutes left to go in the round. Both men in the center again. Minute 54 left to go. Right hand followed up by a left by Teixeira. Landed the right. Glancing with the left. Right to the body. Missing a left to the body was Teixeira. Using that left to indicate distance was Hill, but he eats a left of Teixeira's. Minute 36 left to go in the round. Teixeira throwing some solid shots, not landing all of them. 12:40 in the morning here in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. A minute 26 left to go in the round. And we've got a poke to the eye. And that one will get an official stoppage. And it was the left eye of Jamahal Hill. Tried to play keep away and accidentally poke the eye, but we'll move on here. Minute 16 left to go. Clock will continue. Fight will go on. Following with that left again is Hill. Teixeira again trying to go for the takedown. Hill gets out of it and finds a way to push off of Glover Teixeira. Throws that left hand as Jamahal Hill. Kick to the outside of the knee. Kick to the ankle by Hill following that kick from Glover Teixeira. 45 seconds now. Kick missed by Teixeira. Combination landing 50% of it was Hill. Right, left, right. Left landing the right. Then a straight left jab. Left, right, left combination missed by Teixeira. Uppercut. Teixeira, 10 of 25, 40%. 30 of 58, 52% for Hill in terms of significant strikes in the first round. This has been Jamahal Hill's fight for the majority of this first round. 14 seconds left to go in round number 1 of 5 for the vacant Light Heavyweight Championship. Stephen Kelleher saying a dick kick is coming. We might see one. Left hand thrown by Teixeira. Both of these guys trying to put points up on the board before the end of round 1. And we will go to the corners here at the end of the first round. For me, Teixeira trying to get any sort of advantage, try to find some sort of momentum, but Hill's finding a way to keep his distance, land strikes, land more strikes and more accurate strikes than Teixeira, who's been pushed and propped around. Trigger D is right. Last pay-per-view, we did a group prayer for dick kicks. We manifested some dick kicks and got 2 solid ones. We may see a kick to the junk in this fight. We have yet to see one. And it's a devastating shot on the replay by Teixeira, overhand right. And then a knee to the body by Hill, knee to the head. This was a segment where Hill was landing a lot, just capitulating with knees to Teixeira. And if he kept that pace going, was able to land, I thought the fight might have ended. But these guys were throwing bone-chilling strikes in round number 1. But for me, it's 10-9 Jamahal Hill as we enter round number 2 in our main event, the vacant UFC Light Heavyweight title.
Didn't the dick pics, Jesus. Didn't the dick kicks have something to do with the ending? Like
it played a part.
Yeah.
It played a part.
Yeah.
Both men standing in the center of the octagon. Hill throws a right hand.
So we don't want those again, is what we really are saying.
We don't want. You know what? Fuck it. I'd love to see this fight get thrown out and see what they'd have to do next. Consecutive sack races until there's a winner decided. Overhand right missed by Hill. Teixeira putting pressure on Hill. Punched out of it and a poke to the eye. We've got 3 eye pokes, 2 of them in this fight. There was a knee, and yeah, that was a Stooges eye poke by Hill. That was a little dirty boxing. That was a little unfair pull by Jamahal Hill. As Teixeira has up to 5 minutes, and he will only take 27 seconds of that. And they will dap up. And here we go. TKO via dick twist, according to Sean Bowser. Trigger D, dear 9-pound, 8-ounce, sweet baby Jesus. We're only asking for one this time. Amen. Head kick by Hill. Hill steps inside, misses with a left-right combination. Another head kick against Teixeira. He gets him again. Teixeira's in trouble. Teixeira trying to go for the takedown. He might have hit the reset button. You may hear a Sega noise or hear the old PS2 open because Teixeira's in trouble and Hill's trying to punch the clock. He's trying to walk out of Rio the same way Brandon Moreno did, with cups of piss being thrown at him, but holding the UFC Light Heavyweight title. Teixeira pushing away from it. 324. Another solid shot. Another takedown attempt stifled by Hill. Knee to the head off of the Muay Thai clinch, missing an overhand right. Teixeira in trouble. Little bit of the raspberry jam coming from the nose. He's throwing wildly to keep Hill away. Hill lands a right hand. Teixeira with a combination. Overhand right missed. Straight left. Hill will change up his stance. Now lead with his right. Teixeira missing with a left hand. Head kick again by Jamahal Hill. Right hand landed by Hill. Another head kick, that time barely blocked by Teixeira. He is spamming leg kicks like me in UFC 3. Left hand, landed by Teixeira. 49 shots to the head, 12 to the body, 10 to the midsection by Jamahal Hill. 16, 4, and 3. Head, chest, head, stomach, and legs. Teixeira finally gets a takedown. Those were his stats as well. Teixeira now has Hill down. Hill's back pressed up against the fence. Teixeira now trying to take control and take the back. Hill cedes the back. Teixeira trying to go for the RNC. Hill rolls out of it. Now on his back. In top position, trying to posture up in the mount. Teixeira in control, minute 54 left to go in the round. Hill using his shins to keep the thighs and hips of Teixeira of gaining any momentum. Minute 42 left to go in our second round. Both men trying to adjust here. 91 seconds. Rolls through, pushing up on the back now. Hill. Looks like he's got some raspberry jam underneath the eye. It might be Teixeira's blood. It might be his own blood. But either way, the blood piñata has been broken inside Geneus Arena in Rio. Hill back up, now landing shots on Teixeira. He'll pull away from the former champion, and they'll continue to fight with a minute 3 left to go. Overhand right missed by Hill. He's got to conserve his energy here. He's got to be more meticulous with his strikes. He was landing solid shots earlier. Another head kick blocked by Teixeira. Left hand thrown by Hill. That right eye underneath the right eye is bleeding of Jamahal Hill. Another right hand to the head by Hill. Teixeira trying to step in. 44-10 in terms of significant strikes in this round. Hill with 44, Teixeira with 10. Teixeira had a good last couple of seconds, but the totality of this round has belonged to Jamahal Hill. Shout out to Hayden O'Rear. I'll read your message in about 17 seconds. Right hand thrown by Hill. Straight left. Another right-left combination by Hill. Landing the right, barely landing the left. 9 seconds left to go. Straight left landed by Hill. Missing the overhand right was Teixeira, and we will go to round number 3 with, my opinion, Jamahal Hill up 2-0. And we see the head kick from the early part of this round. Hill was able to land those head kicks a few times with impunity. But take a look at the chat. I'm that asshole who listened to you guys on your other platform for a couple of years or so during UFC pay-per-views and hadn't subscribed to Matt Men yet. Just did. My bad, you guys and girls are awesome. Well, you're awesome. Thank you so much, Hayden, for subscribing with us and coming back to the program. Sean Bowser, regardless of the outcome, you got to give Glover respect. He's a warrior, still competitive with the Young Bucks. Yeah, no, he's hanging in there. This is not a knock on Glover Teixeira. Teixeira could still win this fight. This fight is not over. Like, this fight isn't the end. Like, this is not anywhere near the end. It could end suddenly. It could end very quickly. But Teixeira is still in this fight, and we have 3 left to go. And February 5th, 1 a.m. Eastern, they're doing a fight night card on a Sunday at 1 a.m. Yay. Fuck you, Dana. Here we go, round number 3. As the prayer for kicks or punches to the dick and balls are being shared throughout the chat like a Joel Osteen
Why are we doing
service.
1 a.m.? Why are we doing 1 a.m. Sunday night shows?
We're not doing it. UFC is doing it. I'll be asleep. It's a fight night card. We don't get paid to do those.
I'm like, why are they doing that? Why are they even?
Because they're schmucks. 4:27 left to go. Hill pressing Teixeira up against the fence. Teixeira holding on to Hill. Hill punching his way out. Now Teixeira with his back to the fence. Hill coming forward, trying to keep Teixeira away, throwing those left hands, landing some solid jabs. Trigger D, Christ the Redeemer statue, please. Both men bloody underneath the eye. That underneath the left eye of Glover Teixeira is starting to look like somebody poured tomato sauce all over him. It is not looking good for the former champion here in round number 3. Trigger D saying, hit the balls for my sobriety. My man is gone, long gone. You're going to need a lot of coffee and water. Another head kick from Jamahal Hill. Another takedown attempt by Teixeira. Teixeira stumbles back, and Jamahal Hill laying down the hammer fist. Teixeira trying to get out of it. Now in the Luther Campbell, getting lit up. Now on his tuchus. Glover Teixeira trying to avoid being shut down in his home country, trying to walk out of Brazil the champion, but Jahmal Hill looking to go back to the Motor City, a title holder, trying to go back to his kids, holding that championship, trying to bring it out at 11-1, trying to be one of the fastest rising stars in the UFC. Hill landing shots with impunity. Teixeira trying to play keep away. 2:54 left to go, and Teixeira continuing to bleed like a broken faucet outside of a trailer park in Duluth. Nothing but red, rusty hatred dripping out of the former champion. 2:39 left to go now. The referee Mark Goddard looking on. Hill controlling the pace of the fight, throwing more right hands, trying to close the show. 2.5 minutes left to go. Teixeira still on the ground, and now trying to leg base him, drive the boat to Jamahal Hill, going right back on top. Hill landing shots continuously. Teixeira trying to get up. Teixeira turtling back again, trying to get the referee to stand him up. Hill will step away. Teixeira will let him up. And Teixeira just, that left eye is there's a welt right underneath that eye. It looks like a whole slug is underneath it. Another takedown attempt by Glover. Not going. Kick to the body. Hill, 13 of 14 on takedown defense. Another right hand to that eye of Glover Teixeira. 92 seconds left to go. Hill with his back to the fence. Left hand thrown by Teixeira after eating one from Hill. Hill avoiding and slipping a shot and landing 2 of his own. Teixeira cannot keep up with the pace. That left eye continuing to be a problem. It's going to be a depth perception issue more sooner rather than later. Another head kick by Hill. Another straight left miss by Teixeira. 1:08 left to go in the round. Right hand missed by Teixeira. Hill getting out of the way in the nick of time. Under a minute now left to go in the round. 33 significant strikes to 121. It's 121 to 33 in terms of significant strikes. Glover Teixeira is being deconstructed like a sandwich at an artisanal cafe right now against Jamahal Hill. Overhand right by Teixeira with another left landed by the former champion. 30 seconds left to go in the round. Straight left, not landing by Teixeira. Teixeira lands a left and a right combination. The former champion still trying to stay in this fight. In round number 3. Bops him with a left hand. Eats an uppercut, does Teixeira. Overhand right, missed by Teixeira. 7 seconds, right hand, left hand, landed by Hill. Trying to land one more knee. Another knee landed, a left hand, right hand. And we will go to the 4th round. What a performance from Jamahal Hill here so far. Walking over to the corner, Teixeira wanting to stand, but being told by his team to sit down. Being checked by the cut man. Putting pressure on that eye. No strikes to the beans, berries, or balls. As we head into round 4 tonight.
Jamahal Hill looked really strong there, right?
Yeah, he found a rhythm and a cadence. Teixeira is hurt. Because you can see that cut above the eyebrow, which is not a place you want to cut. Because that blood is going to flow into the eyes. If we take a look at the significant strikes, 37-12 in round 1, 49-12 in round 2, 44-13. So Teixeira has not been able to increase his output while Hill has been able to get into a comfortable rhythm. He landed less in round 3, but he landed more impactful shots in the round. Now Mark Goddard walking over to Teixeira, checking up on him. May get a... Oh, my God. That is a gape. Oh, my God. It's squirting fucking blood. It is... Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret territory in terms of an open wound and bleeding. Round number 4 gets underway.
If he gets back to the next break or the next round, he might not be allowed to go back out.
If the ref gets involved, it's going to be over. If the ref gets involved, it's over, but that ref doesn't want to stop another fight involving another Brazilian because he wants to make it home.
Fair.
Time ticking down here. Hill misses a shot, gets hit in the ribs. Hill avoiding a left hand from the former champion. Lands another knee. Teixeira had to hold on to fake the takedown attempt. Now drags Hill over to the fence. Trigger D, he can't see without his groin kicks. Comedy pyramid. Comedy pyramid. 3:55 left to go. Leading with that left hand is Hill. Also made a Judy Blume reference just now. I'm very happy that I made that. I'm a big fan of Super Fudge. Super Fudge. The Judy Blume books. Left, right hand landed. Another head kick attempt by Jamahal Hill. Stanley Franklin, how big is that gash? Asking for a friend. 70s Earth Mother. That's how big of a gash. Like you could back a smart car into it. Almost another eye poke. Hill will say, fuck it, let's keep fighting. 146 significant strikes thrown by Hill in this fight. Jesus Christ. Left hand thrown by Teixeira. That one lands. Deep water is a concern for Hill going into these 4th and 5th rounds. Getting into championship rounds. Missing wildly with an overhand right is Teixeira. But he's been preparing for this moment. Age may be on his side. Throws a left hand. Followed up by a right. He misses with the right. Oh, and Teixeira landing some heavy shots and sending Hill into a rubber band AI moment. In with the left hand. There's Teixeira and Hill. Hill will switch up his stance, lead with the right now. Throwing that left, though, keeping that left wide open. Head kick attempt blocked by Teixeira. 2:07 left to go in the round. Straight right thrown by Jamahal Hill. Pressing back, Teixeira lands a left hand, tries to get inside and land a shot to the body. Made it 46 left to go. Head kick blocked by Teixeira. Teixeira tried to get into the clinch with Hill. Hill will pop out. 97 seconds left to go. Left, right combination by Teixeira, landing 50% of those shots. Overhand right missed by Teixeira. Straight left landing by Hill, putting the pressure on. Right hand, just throwing those shots. Gets Teixeira with an uppercut. Lands a straight right and then a left. Teixeira wobbledy-wobbed. Will he wobble? We don't know, but Teixeira's still fighting. Lands a couple of shots more. Does Jahmal Hill. Overhand right and another overhand right. Feigning with the left. Did Teixeira. Then opens himself up for a couple of other shots. And we're throwing here. Muay Thai clinch into another knee. Trying to hold on to that clinch. Teixeira looking worse for wear. Looking like the French angel Mauricio without the acromegaly. And in trouble is Teixeira. Again, continuing to throw heavy shots, another knee. Uppercuts, lefts and rights. Mark Goddard has got to be looking at it. When does he pull the fucking trigger here? When does he pull this one? Another knee. Knees to the body by Jahmal Hill. Teixeira looking like the proverbial crimson mask. In trouble. 30 seconds left to go in the round. Can Hill close the show? Can he walk out with the 205 title? Teixeira presses him up against the fence. 15 seconds, Teixeira throws a left hand. You got to wonder if the referees will get involved. 8 seconds left to go. Another situation, another knee, another clinch. Left hand landed by Hill. More shots, right hand. And that will be the end of the round. PJ Simpson saying something I agree with. This needs to be called before there's more permanent damage.
Jesus, call it now. Will they call it in between rounds, or will they let them come back?
It depends if the referee believes the doctor needs to come in there, then we may see that happen. We take a look at both corners now. Hill looking tired, but more composed. Teixeira being looked on by every single member of his team. Mark Goddard in there. That was half a bottle of wine. No, I'm fine. I'm kidding. It was like a quarter of a bottle of wine. The doctor will check on Teixeira now. The significant strike ratio is 192 to 54.
I don't think they're going to stop it.
The doctor checking. Trying to get a determination. We may see a fifth round here. Doctor saying he's good to fight. Did we see if that guy was Anthony DeVolder, though? Can we get a name on that? Was he George Santos? Hashtag Steve Mazzagatti. Shout out to Grumpy Voice, and both men hug each other very awkwardly, like a father and son who have only seen each other at holidays since the divorce. The Grumpy Voice is MG Geek. He's our producer. I'm Matt Ryan, joined by Stephanie Sotilli, the professor, and Olive the Fat Baby. As soon as this is done, I'm going right the fuck to sleep. Trying to pull the single leg into a double leg. Hill pressed up against the fence now, and Teixeira gets the takedown. Now holding on to him in the twin fantasy embrace. Double fantasy. Trying to climb out of it. 2 of 17 is Teixeira on takedowns. 12%, which has really got to fuck up your average at some point. Joey asking, is his face cut up? Teixeira's had some very ugly fucking wounds in this fight. Yes, the studio. Well, I have a bed in the studio. All you need to know. All you need to know, Stanley. There's a bed in the studio. 3:41 left to go in the final round. Trigger D saying time for some proper gloving. I don't know what that means, but that sounds sexual, and I don't like it. kidding. It's hilarious. 3:26 left to go. Hill trying to pop up into the mount. He has control. Hill on the bottom. Can Teixeira steal this one? Slips underneath the arm, the Hill. Switches sides, trying to get into side control, or at least into mount. Excuse me. Looking to posture up, here is Teixeira. Right on the hips and the waist of Jamahal Hill. Hill has to hold on for another 2 minutes and 50 seconds to walk out of here with the light heavyweight title. Now into a vertical position, into a cradle. Lateral press, pardon me. Very late. 2:34 left to go.
Teixeira needs a finish, right?
Teixeira can't win on the scorecards. The only way he wins on the scorecards is if they pull some shenanigans. Hill pressing down the forearm. Ooh, another elbow from Hill. Hill now on top. Putting the pressure, just putting that forearm across the throat of Glover Teixeira, making him work, making it hard to breathe, trying to make Teixeira struggle for every breath, every movement, every use of oxygen. Every time his blood pumps, Hill is trying to make Teixeira work extra, trying to wear him the fuck down. A couple of shots thrown by Hill. Teixeira landing shots from the bottom, trying to win this fight. Jeremiah Ardna saying Yuri punching a tree over and over right now. Yeah. If I'm Yuri Prochaska, I am just furious right now, and I am rehabbing the shit out of that shoulder. Not a lot of time left.
Jamahal Hill has that sneaky body type too, doesn't he? Where
it's the lankiness just allows him to slip in and out. Like, he's been doing a great job of avoiding shots, and he can just grab you and get you going, and he can lock you in. Teixeira being
he's
stood
not
up.
Big. He's just really lanky.
Yeah.
Right?
No, but he makes it. He's wiry.
Yeah.
50 seconds. Throwing that straight left is Hill. Leads it up to a combination, lands the right and barely lands the left. Up, downstairs, upstairs exchange by Teixeira. Another head kick. That was block kick to the body, landed by Hill. 36 seconds before we go to the scorecards. Overhand right, missed badly by Teixeira. Hill has been Toker88 said it best. Hill has been impressive tonight. This is one of the best showings we've seen from Jamahal Hill inside the octagon. And it's a championship. It's a star-making performance. It's a championship-level performance. Whether or not the 205-pound division over the next year will be able to right itself is a question that we're going to answer maybe in quarter 2 or quarter 3 of this year. Teixeira said to bring it on, but there's nothing really left to bring. Kirsten Dunst and Gabrielle Union ain't showing up here, but we will go to the scorecards, and it looks like Jamahal Hill will be taking back to the state of Sparty.
Yeah.
The UFC Light Heavyweight Championship. Are you mad that I said
let me
Sparty?
get that in, so I'll say yay.
Yeah. Our friend and yours, Shaquille Majori, the ghost of John Jones, has possessed Glover Teixeira. Shout out to Shaq. Shout out to everybody who has been joining us here this evening across the Combat Culture Network. You have all been sugar pies and sweeties. That's what we call you guys. We call you the sweeties. Sean Bowser saying, finally an American champ. Well, there's been a fair amount of American champs, but sports is globalizing. We're going to take a look at the scorecards once we get them. Jamahal Hill just completely overcome with emotion right now with his camp. He knows that he is walking out of here with the title. It's all but official. Jamahal Hill just has to let it all out. And see seats emptying.
He's emotional,
in
dude.
Geneus Arena. Well, you walk in against a legend in your sport, despite being the favorite, despite being,
in his country. Yeah.
Yeah. Trigger D saying, come on, Brazilian barbacoa home cooking.
Yay, Michigan has a champion. We're not dogs after all.
Congratulations. And
isn't
you lose a coach, you gain a champion. And ESPN Plus being ESPN Plus, I could say that now because we don't have any monetary gain from working with ESPN Plus. Once there's a decision, MG, if you can inform me when we get that.
Okay. You're going to get it
it
before I will.
Well, I don't have it on my screen at the moment, which is why I'm asking you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right. Thought I gave context clues there. Thank you so much for everyone joining us. We'll have the scorecards in just a moment. The fun part about doing a show when you tell people, hey, I do a show every UFC pay-per-view, and you get texts during the broadcast from people who know you're on the air, who aren't people you're working with on the air at 1 o'clock in the morning. You would think, oh, Matt's on the air, or it's 1 o'clock in the fucking morning. We get scorecards yet? Matt?
Give me a minute. Next broadcast, I'm going to figure we're going to get this on the screen.
Seems like they're still adjudicating the decision. Waiting on the decision here. And it was Jamahal Hill winning by unanimous decision. So congratulations to Jamahal Hill for walking out of Rio de Janeiro as the new UFC Light Heavyweight Champion. The first person, I believe, from Dana White Contender Series in the United States to win championship gold after appearing or gaining his contract through the Contender Series. Toker 88 shouldn't be this hard. The only reason we couldn't is because we couldn't find the... ESPN Plus is kind of shit the bed today. It was not great.
I can't pull it up.
Well, it's a unanimous decision. Jamahal Hill is the new UFC Light Heavyweight Champion. Much deserved, well earned, pulled out to victory. What a night for him. What a night for the UFC. A great card in Brazil. A great opportunity. Someone on Twitter just said it. Jamahal Hill, welcome to pay-per-view points. Indeed, welcome to getting pay-per-view points, my friend. Congratulations to him as he walks out as the new UFC Light Heavyweight Champion. It was a unanimous decision according to ESPN.com.
He looked like a stud, right? He looked like
But on that note, we will wrap up here from the studio. Jamahal Hill walking out with the win, an impressive victory over Glover Teixeira. Teixeira had moments of brilliance, but was not able to overcome the onslaught and the injuries sustained to him by Jamahal Hill. But we will be back with you in February for UFC 284. And for all of us here at Matmen, for MG Geek, for Stephanie Sotilli, for Olive the Fat Baby, for the Professor, and for me, Matt Ryan, we'll see you next time. And we will say so long from the Garden State. Are we clear?